Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to NinjaTrader Live. I'm Tracy Shuchart, senior economist, and here's what happened while we were away. We had a 10-year auction. It was a solid 10-year auction. High yield was 4.683%, a slight tail from the when issued 4.682%. Bid to cover 2.53 versus 2.47 month average was good. Indirect bidder 76.7% strong. Direct bidders 14.7%, a little bit soft, and dealers were left holding relatively little at 8.6%. So good auction, no worries there. Corporate debt has not taken a chip in that demand just yet. We have Iran announcing that they have reorganized its military to be more aggressive abroad as talks on ending the war with the U.S. remain mired in a stalemate. A general in the IRGC said that Iran must be able to take operations into enemy territory whenever conditions are favorable and the order is issued. So there is that. We had Russia's crude-only production lagged behind its OPEC plus quota by almost 1 million barrels per day in July as Ukraine attacked the nation's oil infrastructure almost daily. Producers pumped an average of 8.887 million barrels a day of crude oil. That target is 9.824 million barrels, so another million barrels off the market. CPI, I wanted to go over a little bit of CPI because we didn't kind of talk about under the hood. So we all know underlying U.S. inflation was subdued in July. Markets loved it. It excludes volatile food and energy. That said, energy and gasoline prices fell for the second month, while groceries fell for the first time since March. Now, that's the good news. Now, here is the worrisome part, because we keep talking about how AI tech is inflationary, and we've seen Apple raise prices. I talked about CoreWeave this morning. They're raising prices on their SKUs 25%. So prices for computer and software and accessories rose to a record of 21.2% from a year earlier. And peripherals and smart home assistants advanced by the most in more than 4 years. So we are having underlying inflation pressures, and this does factor into core PCE, whereas energy and food does not. So just something to keep in mind on that. JP Morgan came out and said that after the CPI number today and said that the Federal Reserve should keep interest rates unchanged and predicted that inflation will gradually come down as evidence mounts that a sustained wage spiral won't take root. So it sounds like they're talking their book a little bit. We have another one that has raised their S&P 500 target for year end. We have Ed Yardeni. He raised his S&P 500 index that tops his own high Wall Street target. He was the highest on Wall Street. After fabulous earnings momentum, he has raised his target to 8,400 from 8,250. So that is the highest that we have seen so far as year-end targets for the S&P 500. Mortgage rates, a little bit of good news here. After 5 weeks of gains, mortgage rates fell very slightly last week, but that was enough to bring a little bit of demand back into the market. That mortgage rates decreased to 6.77% from 6.81%. And last but not least, big announcement for the LA Lakers. Josh Kushner and Bob Iger are planning to buy the LA Lakers for a record-breaking price tag of $12.5 billion with a B. Kushner, we all know who Kushner is, managing partner of co-founder of Thrive Capital. Iger, former chief executive at Walt Disney, who also works at Thrive, have been involved in the NBA's expansion process in Las Vegas, but they decided to pivot and make an offer to buy the Lakers from financier Mark Walter instead. So there you go, record-breaking buy for the Lakers at $12.5 billion. And with that, I'll pass it to Jim for an Edge report.
Thank you, Shai. Appreciate that. I'm a man without a NBA team here in Charleston. Nothing even close. I guess Charlotte's close, but all right, we won't go there. Let's take a look at corn today. We talked about wheat earlier today. 12 o'clock, the WASDE report hit the streets. World Agricultural Supply and Demand Estimates. It's a monthly report. It's kind of like the CPI for grains, or it's a big report for grains anyway. So the big news I think was in corn today. We had a yield. The yield was a bullish surprise. 108.7 bushels per acre versus the 182.5 expected. July it was 183 even. The bottom line here is that even though they planted more acreage, this report was clearly bullish for WASDE. Lower yield plus stronger exports plus tighter stacks outweighed the acreage increase. And you can see it right here. I mean, you know which candle it was. It was this candle right here, 12 to 1210 candle, boom, report hits the street. Prices rally pretty big. This is also traded in quarter points, just like the wheat contract. It's quoted right now I'd quote this at $4.57. It's traded in quarter cents. 1/4, but right now we're tracking $4.57. So again, a nice rally here in corn. If you are trading commodities, these are good markets. Remember, there is that 220 close, so it's a little bit of an odd start and stop time, and when you're trading grains at the CME Group, but they're great markets to trade. And let me just kind of show you something that was really shocking to me. Here's the trading ladder. This is September corn. This is the old crop. New crop is December. Look at the bids and offers. Thousands. It's crazy. I mean, this is a really heavy, deep market, folks, by the way. So it's a bid-ask spread is tight, and you could really get some good participation in it. Yeah. All right. Let's shoot over to the NASI right now. NASI 30,000 is elusive. I'm gonna click on my tab down at the bottom here that says Selma. We'll see what that pops up. But right now we just we kind of ticked up to that 30,000 level, and we sold right off of that. And let me just squish this. That's not the chart I wanted to show. This guy. All right, this is a 3-day peak right here, and this is a 30-minute candle chart. We tagged that 30,000 just for fun this morning, and then we sold off pretty decently. We didn't get there yesterday. We didn't really get there. We just missed it by a little bit the day before. So this is a serious area of resistance up here at 30,000 for this market. Now, it doesn't want to yield. It wants to get there. It does want to break out higher, but right now it's just struggling. So decent volume profile right now. We have kind of a situation where we're kind of trading just south of that point of control. Let's get an intraday chart here and a 10-minute chart really quickly here, just to get a closer view. 0 DTE call resistance and call resistance is at that 30,000 level. Not surprising there. That's top of the U.S. initial balance as well. And so we didn't have that break to the upside, right? We did have a break to the downside, so a single break on the IB, which isn't unusual. It's in the 70% of the time that this happens just from on a single as opposed to a double. And right now we're trading right below that point of control. And that point of control is sticky. Look at all the candles here, all these 10-minute candles. There's several in a row that traded at that point of control. That's at 29,915, but couldn't really get enough muster to get over it right now. VWAP is flatlining right now. I don't know. Right now we're trading between the point of control and VWAP. We'll see if anything changes at all. On the downside, though, if we do break through that VWAP, we do have GX1 down there at 29,800. And then bigger, more important number, I think, is the high vol level, that put support level at 29,750, which roughly corresponds to the top of the London IB. Really small IB there in London. Of course, we were anticipating CPI. This was before that happened. Further down, we have that pivot. The daily pivot is at 29,800. I'm sorry, 29,689. And then below that, well, we got some Selma levels here, some regular trading hour closes and lows, but really that 0DT put support is going to be the big one, 29,500. If this thing breaks bad, doesn't look like it's going to right now. It looks like it's pretty strong. And just casually glancing over at the rest of the quote board, bonds are super interesting right now because we're just holding that 109 level. Remember this morning when we were talking with Deli and Shai, we were trading around 109.08. 30 seconds. So we're a few ticks below that, not a lot, just kind of sitting here at the bottom of the long-term range. So looking for a breakout to the downside on US Treasury bonds. That is this afternoon's Edge Report, and we are ready for our main event. And we are going to trade the close with Jack Gleason, Tanya Trades, and Salma. Good afternoon. How you guys doing?
Doing
Hello.
well.
Hi, better now that we see you.
Thank
That's so sweet.
you, Tanya. Oh my gosh. The things that happen in the green room, I can't even explain. Interesting day today. CPI is finally behind us right now. I'd be interested to get your point of view on this. Jack, let's start with you. We're going to go Jack, Salma, Tanya.
Oh man, I really thought the trade was last night. I was getting long. I was getting long last night into the CPI report and closed those trades this morning. Right now, I'm just looking for pullbacks here. So you can see I got kind of limits across the board. We're back into the slow grind at the end of the day. And so I'd like to see a washout into what is the 50% retracement from the swing lows of the middle of the day. So I got bids there at 77.69 in the ES, 29,871-ish in NQ. Interested to see if gold makes a bottom here because that blue line you see on the bottom of my screen is the midpoint of the prior day. Gold's been really heavy trending to the upside. And if we can take out a swing high here, which would be the swing high at 135, I would think that maybe this low is in for at least the day and look to start trading it to the upside. So I'm long biased into the close. Whether or not I can get an entry is to be determined, but hopefully just looking for some pullbacks to continue. And I tweeted out last night some of the higher time frame targets that I was anticipating in the NASDAQ, and I'll just give you guys what that number was. 30,160 roughly is my anticipated higher time frame NASDAQ target, which I do think will be completed by Friday. So I'm bullish up into that point. Once we get up to that 30,160 area, I'll probably be a little less aggressive with the longs. But until then, I'm looking for pullbacks.
Got it. Going back to your gold chart, that midpoint line, is that the midpoint of yesterday's range or
the
MD?
middle point of yesterday's range? Yep. And that's always something when I see markets that are trending, if we come down and we hold that, I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence, but maybe it is. But you can just see we literally just stopped right there so far twice. And we've, double bottomed. Taking out that swing high would kind of confirm that for me.
Got it. All right. Thank you, Jack. Appreciate that. Selma, what are you thinking?
I'm just going to be keeping eyes on the Russell and ES. I don't anticipate that we really get, I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think we get too much activity going into the close here. On ES, I'm looking for us to get above the weekly open, which is something we haven't been able to do since basically 9:50-ish this morning. We've just been rejecting it every single time and have been consolidating below. So if we can get above 77s, then I really like it for another 10 points higher at 86. And then the Russell, I think, has been really the most resilient off these lows and was the one that kind of started to shift us back up a little bit. I was expecting a continuation earlier. We didn't really get that. And we kind of, came back down, chopped around for a bit, and now look like we're starting to move again. But I'd like to see the Russell get above 53 and then potentially take out new highs, but I don't really know if we can even get a 10-point move in the next 2 hours, which is kind of sad to say. But yeah, this market's just been pretty boring overall.
Yeah, but the Russell's been resilient, to your point, though, for several weeks, not just today.
Yeah.
So awesome. I appreciate that, Selma. Tanya, before we go to the charts, Tanya, we got something special to announce today, right? There we go. There is Tanya's micro site up and ready to go. We'll get that link in the chat. Look at that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Like every futures trader that is on the show has their personal microsite, and here you could like find out more about the trader that you're interested in. Actually, I love here how you can click live. Like it shows that I'm live right now on the show, and then it will take you, if I click on it, it will redirect me to the YouTube live. So that's awesome. And it'll tell you, talks a little bit about my trading approach right here. ICT AMD framework to target liquidity, and then some other tips and tricks I talk about for trading futures. And I think this is really cool. And right here it says trade the close, my live schedule when I'm going to be on NinjaTrader. I think this is really cool.
It is so cool. Very, very awesome. By the way, they're called trader profiles. I'm going to get in trouble for calling it a microsite. It's not a microsite. It's trader profile. So please, nobody give me a hard time for that. Anyway, that's super awesome, Tanya. We'll get that link in the chat if it's not already there so everybody could check it out. What are you thinking about this afternoon's price action?
Yeah, I have like low expectations, but I just want to be exposed to longs right now. So I'm gonna have longs on the Nasdaq and ES. I noted that we bounced at the weekly open at Nasdaq right there at like 12:30-ish. We had a nice bounce right there, and we're kind of consolidating here. I have some longs on just in case we start to, you know, move up higher. I do like that. ES, yeah, like Salma said, ES is fighting with that weekly open level. I'm looking for us to get above it now, hopefully in the next 5 to 10 minutes, and then maybe we'll get some displacement, but I've overall pretty low expectations for the rest of the day. But I just want to have some exposure on just in case. And I don't want to be shorting this market if we're near all-time highs. I think that it's only Wednesday, we can end up higher for the week, especially we're back above weekly open for the Nasdaq at least. We'll see for ES.
Yeah, I'm wondering, Tanya, is 30,000 kind of like Thanos? Is it like inevitable?
That would be nice. It's a nice round number. I think that a lot of people are watching that number. Could we get there today? Possibly. Um, I guess we'll just have to find out. It's only
Awesome.
100 points away for the Nasdaq.
All right. Well, I'm wishing you luck there. Selma, that was a movie reference, by the way, with Thanos, just in case.
Well, thanks for clarifying. Appreciate that.
Anyway, all right. Well, I'm going to dip in the chat. I wish you guys the best of luck. I do want, oh, one more thing I forgot to mention. Jared Tendler, 4 o'clock. Don't leave your seat. At 4 o'clock, the bell's going to ring. We're going to have Jared Tendler pop in for a retail therapy session. He's got a couple of traders that he's going to talk with, and they're going to talk about issues related to their performance. Jared's done this before. He is the best. He's awesome to listen to. Come with some questions, too, because you could throw a few in at the end. We'll get him to answer some questions. It's going to be a whole hour. So 4 o'clock, do not get out of your seat. All right, guys. Best of luck. Wishing you on any trades you may or may not make, and the ones that you're in.
Thank you.
Take care, Jim.
Thanks.
I am inevitable.
Here we go. Let's get this
That was
pullback.
scary. That
You
was
like scary
scary.
movies?
I didn't watch that movie. It was like,
I didn't
the
see it.
highest grossing of all time, right?
What movie was that? I didn't see.
You gotta ask Jim.
The Avengers?
No, thanks, Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either. All right. Well, the NASDAQ kind of looks like it really can't push like the ES did there. I got orders across the board, so I'm sitting here and
Yes, denied weekly open again.
yeah, I've got these new things coded on my screen. You'll see these little green boxes that are just kind of support zones that I've coded in here too that I'm trying to line up a lot of my orders with. So that's where you'll see these orders are in these green box zones.
Ooh.
Here. So let's see if we come down. Let's see if they work. I'm gonna increase the opacity on those real quick. Yeah, don't call it a microsite. It's a
NQ looks like it wants to curl over here.
Yeah, I hope so. I got a limit at 72-ish, 2872s.
The Russell looks so good though. It looks really strong.
I agree. Russell's the best market here. see. Come on now. Here we go. Gold coming nicely out of that double bottom. Up about
Yeah, I like gold above
13
67.
points.
We only moved like 370 points today on the NASDAQ, the range.
Yo, your tweet had me rolling, Tanya. High was cracking up.
That's how
She
I felt.
goes, "Am I trading Nasdaq or a shitcoin?" Yeah,
This
the movement was brutal. How
Only,
can you
like, the biggest
trust?
thing, wow, SpaceX is up 10% right now. Oof. That's the only thing. That's like what's holding up the market at the moment. Their Meta's down 3%. Although their big tech companies are down right now.
All right. Well, I'm going to be doing a little bit of this as we come down into where I want to see us.
Still in my longs. Let's see.
Yeah, I might look at ES here for a short. It's so annoying how everything looks so different.
It's been like that. It's not going to change.
Yeah.
It's going to take a lot to break that. We need big moves. These, I mean, the best move was overnight. Really clean.
True.
And then CPI comes out. Even that candle was nasty to both sides. Spent some time higher, and then 9:30 open, basically the high, right? 9:30, the high across the board almost. Can you talk about the Asia setup you took last night? Yeah, I can. Let me go to the NQ. Actually, I'm going to full screen here. So, what I look for, so this is Asia open. And one of the first things I look for is just an indication that we're moving higher. And that's just this ATR bar, this little arrow thing. It's just an indicator that I have. And then I just bought that first 50% retracement at 10 o'clock. So, we're doing nothing. We're chopping around. I'm simply just waiting for a signal. I get that signal at 9:45. It's an expansionary bar, but it's also more than that. It's part of this code I have, and that signals start looking to buy pullbacks. And which at that point in time I was just took the low of 6 o'clock to that high, and I think that 50% was right around like 29,655, and then I took partials and then just held the rest basically into CPI. But yeah, that's what I took. And then this morning we haven't had, this is on a 5-minute chart, but we have the first time we had an ATR bar, it was to the downside, and then basically our first trend bar to the upside. These are just things I look for direction, but was here at what time is that? That is at 12:20, and then pullbacks are now viable now that we've had that. So I mean, it's a little slow. There really isn't that many trades for me to like take with it great confidence. Of course, you can always find a trade if you want to, but if I'm not rushing myself, I'm looking for one of those signals, and then I'm just basically anticipating a pullback. So that's what I'm doing right now. I have signals that make me think we're going higher, but I'm still looking for a pullback that hasn't happened yet. But I do think it can happen though, because we've been going sideways for like an hour and a half here. But yep, that's my Asian entry for you.
All right, I went short ES here. If we get a 5-minute candle close above the weekly open, then I will just manually exit this trade. Again, we haven't had a 5-minute candle close above since 9:45, right before, well, I shouldn't say right before we sold off, because we started selling off right off the open on ES, but basically we haven't had a candle close, so I think it's worth a shot here. Although Russell is pushing.
Now about to get that new swing high there in the ruddy. Yeah, I agree. The entire morning looks like accumulation, the bar coding, but I mean, I think we're going higher. It's just a matter of getting in. Just because you have a directional bias doesn't mean you got an entry for me. Time frame do I use to track my runners? I don't even know if it's like a time frame that I use to track my runners. I mean, I'm just looking at a higher picture. I was anticipating the prior day high to get taken out. And I mean, I'm sleeping, so I'm not tracking it. I'm just kind of stops at break even, and I don't know how high we're going, to be honest. I had that target I tweeted out last night at 30,160 area. And that was like, where I thought we were going, but you really don't know how far until the market kind of opens where we're going. So I'm not so much worried about a trail instead of just having a higher time frame idea. I mean, considering we had CPI, it was either that we're the very high likely chance that we were going to take out prior day high or prior day low. So my targets are automatically after I get on my first target. Realistically, if I can get a stop break even, I'm looking at the prior day high to get taken out. And, we're kind of still right at that prior day high in the NQ. That prior day high is 29,890s. Man, that Dow is.
I'm waiting until this 5-minute candle closes essentially. Yes, if ES can't close above 7,776.75, wow, 7,776.75. Then I'm just gonna close and wait for more confirmation. But I'm waiting in another 3 minutes essentially.
Yep, that next 5-minute candle too for me. If it works in your favor, obviously, Tanya, then I'm out.
Yeah, it's a good tight stop you have for shorts.
Yeah, I don't want to see it close above the weekly open, so just I'll play it off of just a candle closure. But yeah, Russell is pretty strong here, guys. Decently strong, holding previous day high. Created like a supportive base there, and is trying to push. What's up, Caesar? How you doing? Chat, how are you guys doing? We haven't said hello yet. Chat is dead. Oh, there they are. What's up, guys?
Wow. SpaceX, I think, is now up 11.1%. Damn, I think that, yeah, it has higher,
Wow.
more upside to go in the coming days as well.
How much is it off the bottom there? Let's see.
Almost 50% off the bottom.
Yeah, 100, 104 bottom, basically. 148 now.
Mm-hmm.
Eesh. What a move. You know what I'd love to trade? Single stock futures on SpaceX.
Me too.
Although I don't even think they're one of the products listed, which I wish they were. That'd be awesome.
I thought they were.
No, they are.
Are they?
Pretty I'm almost certain. Hold on. I'll look it up.
I mean, when they came out with the idea, they weren't even IPO'd, so it wouldn't surprise me that they're not. But yeah, let me know. I'm not 100% confirmed on that, but
Wait, I need to find a list of. Oh God, this website's hurting my eyes.
okay. Chat's saying they are.
Someone said they're trading them. Okay, cool.
I guess it makes sense. It is one of the highest market cap companies out there. So
Yeah.
I'm looking right now. Hold on.
all right, let me check what the volume was on that thing then.
Yeah, SpaceX. Yep, it's part of it.
SSPCX, I think.
Yeah, SSPCX. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet.
Sweet, sweet, sweet.
All right, just got some signals here. RTY bullish trend signal. There you go, Salma. GC bullish trend signal.
I'm cutting this NASDAQ and I'll re-enter lower if it comes.
CL flipping to the
Yeah,
upside.
couldn't close above weekly open.
CL just ripped higher. All right.
Yeah, that was a weird candle. NCL.
I think I'm going to cancel my ES order. I'll replace it if we get down there, but at this point,
Market's like so boring. Oh my gosh.
I'm glad I get to hang out with you guys.
Aw.
I know, me too.
I need something to do besides stare at these slow markets. I mean, I'm looking at the MYM like it's CL just had a big move to the upside though, so I'm going to switch over and start trading some of that. Let's see here. See if it can pull down. Yeah. I want it to. MCO. Here we go.
Yeah, YM and Q kind of looks similar here. A tad bit.
Yeah, what do they look like?
Like they want to drop.
Like they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, that. Well, ES just gotta push here.
Oh yeah. We're going back up.
I'd say push, and then it's only 3 points.
But I mean, it's back above weekly open now.
Yeah. Yep. I'll wait for a candle close confirmation. 2 minutes left. And close above, I'm out. I just realized you guys can't see my
This
little
is
light.
funny. I'm getting back in my NASDAQs.
Definitely a market where I think you really just got to exercise your patience for your
I
entries,
know,
or
otherwise
you
you
know,
could get
well, it's just the
shocked.
over trading. Yeah, it's the over trading that like
but it did
slow
stop.
markets entice.
Yeah, I know, right? You could get chopped up for sure.
I mean, even the
CES
action.
coming back above is like pretty compelling to me to get back in. See if it works out.
Feel left out. I'm gonna put some glasses on and join you guys. Oh, they're
Aw,
really
There you
dirty.
go. ATR 7 points. Should we be trading this? Probably not.
7 points used to be a big move back in the day. On the floor, be huge. 7 points in a mini, or a big, I should say. All right, quiz question for you, chat traders. What was the dollar value of a 1 point move on the big contract traded of the S&P 500 in the pits?
Here we go.
Dun, dun, dun. Who knows this answer? No Googling. Don't be cheating, or chat be cheating, or whatever you call it. Do not ask the internet.
They all asked. I'm out of my position, by the way. 3 point stop loss. 3 point loss, I should say.
There you go.
I'm gonna hold my longs NASDAQ until the close. I'm not doing anything more than that today.
It's the fact that the Russell is still pushing here. Can't believe it.
I can believe it. You want to hear what my target would be?
Sure.
It is 30.55.3.
Say that again.
30.55.3.
30.55 point. So like a point higher,
Basically.
bro. I'm dead.
This it's telling you what I see.
No, yeah. I mean, I had 53.8. That was my original target from earlier when I was trading this.
Wow, E-mini Magic traded it before it was minis. What year was the last year you traded a full-size S&P contract, E-mini Magic? You were an OG, sir. '97. It's a great year. Salma wasn't even born yet.
I wasn't even a thought.
I wasn't born yet either, actually.
Oh my god! Oh my gosh, for how young you guys both are.
You're 98, Tanya?
Yeah.
Just missed you, E-mini Magic. Russell is really moving here.
It's an ATR expansion. There you go. There's your 0.3. We'll see how far we go past that. ATR expansion on the 5 minute. 97 was great. I had hair. I'll probably be saying that too one day.
Jack, I don't know if you'll go bold.
Yeah, that's true. My dad has a full head of hair, so I don't know. I'm looking pretty. I don't think I'm missing any hairs, but my drain says otherwise.
Your drain, I'm dead.
I'm just kidding. My drain's fine.
Does anyone say spoos anymore? Yeah, Jacob. Tune into the Capital Preservation Friday with Pats.
Capiche?
You'll hear him say the spoos and the schnaz.
The schnaz.
So I've heard that my mom's dad had hair too, but he didn't live as long as my dad's father. But I've also heard that is scientifically false. The moms. So everybody says you get your hair from your mom's dad.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah, but just like anything else, like I don't think, like what other genetic thing can you even think of that people say that? Like you get your teeth from your your dad's mom, or like there's no other saying that people say that. And I think that's just like, from what I've read, like the actual study on it is not true. And it's just like an old thing that so many people think is true because it's
Really?
repeated so many times. But yeah, there's like a study on it. But like, if you think about it, like what else out there are you like, you get your, your finger length from your mom's dad, or you get
I think
your, it's
probably
so
has to do with the mitochondria because your mitochondria is from your mom.
maybe.
Um,
But then why would
I
it
don't
be
know.
from her dad? Wouldn't it be from her mom? Right?
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't know. Nasdaq finally starting to curl back up.
I mean, a lot of things are genetics, don't get me wrong, but to single out one parent on one side being responsible for one trait and no other traits doesn't seem very realistic.
It's true.
Hi, Biblical. How you doing?
Salma, you're going to have a nice ATR expansion on those highs. See if we get through. So when we have that ATR expansion on highs, so that last 5-minute bar there in the Russell is a ATR expansion increase in the first one to the upside all day long. So if we don't push through that in the next 25 minutes, I usually think that's a top.
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
Right at my level. Right at my level. But yeah, no, I think you got some room in these other indexes because they're kind of late to the party. There's the Dow going here. Dow's been the weakest all day. Weakest yesterday. Took out Friday's low just barely after leading in the morning.
All right, we'll see how this ends up going for the rest of the day. But I'm willing to just hold the longs through.
Really increasing here in the YM. I mean, that I feel like, is my NASDAQ chart broken? Like, I'm not sure if it's either stopped moving or it's not moving.
It's like at 922.
Yeah.
Oh, it is not working. Oh, wait, no, I didn't have it. You know when you scroll on your chart and like you don't have the current
Oh, you
time?
have the recent bar.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know about you guys, but my chart is not moving. Yeah, now it's moving because I was on the wrong data point. There's an ATR increase there in the YM now on the 15-minute chart too. Getting your new high there. See if we can get this CL to come back into my level. I might even drop it a little further. That's kind of like, I'll leave it.
I'm not seeing anything here.
Wouldn't it be chat? Do you guys think that NASDAQ could get to 30,000? Oh my gosh, my mic. Oops. It's fine. Let me know in chat. Do you think we can get to 30,000 in the NASDAQ?
Today?
Mm-hmm. By the end of the session.
I mean, 100 points is nothing for NQ, but
It is in
With
these
this
ranges.
movement, with this movement,
And it is in these ranges.
Yeah.
It's just, like post CPI, we have not been able to
Who
get
said that?
anywhere.
That was funny. Who said that? Someone said, oh, Mr. Josh Platinum says, NQ can only get to 30K today if I short it. Otherwise, no.
all right, so short it, please.
Take one for the team, buddy.
I think we're going to wash out this consolidation low.
We just washed out the high. Not the best closure, so maybe it will. I don't love that, like, it's a flat bottom candle on the 15. Guess I'll have to, I'm just gonna hold.
You'll see the wig out again if I do start shedding. I might go permanent, Jackie. All right.
I put a limit on GC longs. 70.
Were you in the Russell, Salma? Or no?
I was earlier.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Earlier as in earlier today or earlier when we got on the stream?
No, earlier today.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that August so far, trade the close has been some of the most tedious price action I've seen all year.
Definitely.
Yeah, I tweeted something yesterday.
Consistently.
And I said, I love summer for like the hot weather, the good vibes, long days, like everything about summer is perfect in my eyes, okay? The only thing that sucks is when you correlate it to trading, you've got, this very sleepy price action that makes you want to lose your mind.
Yeah.
So I've now got a love-hate relationship with summer.
I think next August I'll just take the whole second half of the day. Like literally don't trade past 11:30.
Asia's just been better too.
Yeah, Asia has been better. Yesterday, like as far as like it's not that the Asia action was great yesterday, but it provided a good entry. Like I knew going into CPI there'd be movement in Euro session, so that's why I was like looking for an entry. Not that the Asia session was specifically exciting, but I was like, if we get going, it's one of those setups that you can continue. Man, but gold has really come out of this low here.
No friggin' pullback to the
22
90
points, 22 points out of the low there in gold. So we have broken above that swing high. I mentioned double bottoming on the midpoint of the day in gold, and I will be looking for a long entry. Not that I think I'm going to get it anytime soon, because as long as we're kind of shooting up here, I need a deeper pullback, but it'll be setting up in Asia. Your favorite, Salma?
Mm-hmm.
It's just been moving better.
Yeah. Yep. Let me look at 1 minute chart. Probably going to get all the way up to 48.90 before finding anything aggressive to sell into. CL coming in. Not even sure.
Were you short gold? No, Chi-Town. I had a limit for long, so I wanted to go long. I just wanted to see a slight pullback to the 90 MA so they could fill my limit, but you just continue to push.
All right. It is George Soros's 96th birthday today. He has a really good
Cool story, bro.
No, I mean, he's one of the most famous investors of all time, but maybe you don't care. But he has a really good lecture thesis on Spotify that you can find. It's like 8 hours long. It's basically, like an audiobook on his investment thesis. I think it's worth listening to. But yeah, I mean, considering he's basically one of the best traders of all time, regardless of whatever you think he is as a person, he is one of the best traders of all time. And I can separate the person from the skill personally, but he's a legend in the investing/trading world. Yeah, he's got a good thesis on investing. That's all I'll say about it.
In NinjaTrader, can we trade options? No. All right, I might try gold again at a similar limit, 71.
Stalling here into YM. Rejecting from that 55.3 there again in the Russell. See if I get filled in the CL.
What are you trying to go for, CL?
I got a limit at 83.11.
Okay.
Basically, I got one of my ATR bar notifications that thing had picked up speed and just look for that, a first pullback after that. It's kind of, it's been new. It's been barcoding too, but a lot of times when we begin a move, we'll have, a huge range expansion in direction and then like pull back and then get that continuation. That's that trade I'm looking for. Similar to like the gold. I mean, we've rallied pretty aggressively out of this low enough to kind of cement, but anybody buying up here, I think is kind of chasing this move. So what I'll look for is, pull back into this green zone, which makes me feel a little bit safer on my entry as opposed to chasing up here and then look for a rotation back up into, 44.90s to 45.03s. So that might set up here today, or it might set up after. I am a little sick. Yeah, I have a summer cold. It's a bummer. That's why I'm sneezing over here. Sneezing and
Feel better,
nasing.
Jack.
Thanks.
You're
No,
welcome.
it's not too bad. It's annoying.
Yeah. Salma, is the pink line the EMA indicator? Yeah, that's a 9 EMA. Correct.
There's no way I have COVID. I've been boosted 7 times, so there's just no way. There's just no way. All right. Let's see if Nasdaq's kind of coming back. And my limit in the Nasdaq's 29,873. So we'll see if we sweep that low. Be a trickaroo. Tricky market.
When's Jared here? Guys, Jared's at 4 p.m. Eastern time when we get off when market closes. Definitely
Bitcoin,
stay tuned.
4
I tell you
p.m.
what, Bitcoin is looking like it's going to fall out of bed here soon on the daily chart. I don't know if anybody looks at that, but that thing is looking like we're dropping straight back to high 50K, 59, 58,000.
Any traders in South Carolina? Jim?
Jimbo.
I'll bring my NQ into view. That might be the next thing I actually trades here. I really like that setup, actually.
Yeah, maybe you'll get it. Buy the dip of the consolidation.
That's such a trappy setup. If it
I
happens to
know.
take out high and then take out low and then wipe this consolidation. That's why I like really.
Yep. All right. So fun.
Wow, ES really popped above weekly open, so I can get out just to come back down. Cool.
NASDAQ took out those equal highs, 922s. I mean, I'm glad I kind of managed my way around that well. All right.
I'm removing my limit on GC. I don't love the way the 15-minute candle is looking right here. It's pretty ugly.
Come on. Dude, I feel like I'm going to have to actually, I don't know if we're going to get it. I think that might be it. I'm going to wait though. If 3 bars down, if we go 5 bars down, I'll get in, but we did just kind of barely sweep that low. Darn. I don't know. Like it.
Yeah, it's a very ugly 15-minute candle on GC, in my opinion.
On GC?
Yeah, check it out.
Tanya, you're right about not loving the flat bottom on the 15-minute on NASDAQ. Yeah. Yeah, this guy got taken out after we took out the highs. Let's consolidating.
Yeah, I don't give too much weight to that 15-minute candle, to be honest, on GC.
Yeah, it's just not something I want to
I
really...
mean, I just wouldn't be a buyer up here regardless of what the 15-minute candle looks like. I think you just kind of got to wait for the setup, but it's me. It's just like, this is how I see GC right now. It's a short, it's a long, but it's a chase up here. So you kind of just got to wait for the setup. Anyway, I did get long. I didn't think that I had that order lower in that NASDAQ, but we barely swept that low. And then I could just see buyers flooding back in. So I picked it up basically at market, which isn't something I normally do. And I'm going to be targeting new highs here up at 42, 41 area. I'm going to give it 25 minutes and see if we can push up out of this. Otherwise, we'll probably drop into where I was patiently waiting before. And that level before my lower limit was 75, but I might actually add into it if we get down there.
Wait, what are you in right now?
I just got long the NASDAQ after we swept
Okay.
this middle low.
You might want to move your tracker to the right.
Just slightly.
Only got so much space here.
There you go.
My face is too big. But could you not see that before?
We couldn't see like the sizing and
Oh, well, there goes my CL order too.
bing bong.
This price action like reminds me a lot about last Friday. Very reminiscent. Just like these wicks on the 4-hour and no fall through to the upside. A lot of wicks. Let me see Friday.
Wild, wild horses.
Couldn't bring me down.
Yeah. I'm listening to that right now.
Well, that's a full hour of limits before I got anything filled there, which is fine. Why I'm still pushing here, just ATR expanded up into a new high. But yeah, NQ, we'll see. What do you got here, buddy?
What you got?
Do you got some follow through? Do you want to play?
Ayo.
Yes, kind of held nice to pull back there.
Well, it's back below its weekly open. It's trying though, still has time.
Man, it feels like watching paint dry sometimes. It's how slow it
Yeah.
is. Small ranges.
We're almost there, guys. We're almost at the finish line of having to deal with summer price action. But see, I can't be happy about that because then it just means summer is over.
Oh.
And then you can't be happy when summer starts. This just means crappy price action.
Shap Cap Tanya sold NASDAQ to Jack. He said, "You take this dog." That's funny.
Basically.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, it works out for him. Let's see. Are you in the longs yet? I thought you were at 78.
I was at
a starter
75, but I had this higher level here, and
Yeah.
I just thought there was, not enough momentum. If we hold this for another 5 minutes, then I think it's going to hold. But if we start breaking through that low in the next 5 minutes, then we're probably going to trade my original level.
Yeah. Feel out.
I'm just looking at the ES kind of YM out of here. It's acting fairly strong. And
No cool name. Yeah, I'm wearing the blue light glasses. So is Jack. I think maybe Salma has a tint. I'm not sure if she has.
I do have blue light glasses, yeah.
Cool.
I forget what the doctor told me, but there's also it turns green. You can see like green reflect on my glasses.
Yeah, you see like a blue glare, green glare, yeah.
There's a program called Flux that's free that changes the hue and reduces the blue light that your computer is emitting. If you guys are interested in also doing something on your screens, that kind of
there
gives
you go.
a yellow tint.
It's called anti-reflective when you have the green reflection.
Yeah, they definitely make a difference for me. No cool name, 89. I used to like have my eyes sting after trading and streaming. Like my eyes would sting. And now this got rid of all of that. Less strain, less sting, like my eyes don't hurt. It's nice. Now I only get a headache if NASDAQ acts like a bum.
Acts like a shitcoin.
Yeah, like a shit coin.
Yeah, that had me cracking up. Seriously.
Yeah. Because you know what? Everyone knows what candle that was. It was like 1031. What the hell is that? Dropped 82 points in 15 seconds there.
Trump said something. It was something about U.S. has total control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So makes bad trading. Makes for bad trading. Trump said he took control of the strait. Yeah. And yeah. Snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap. We'll see what's next, what the next news is.
My upside target for the day really wouldn't be any higher than the current targets that I got on my screen, which is 947. I wouldn't expect much more than that. I mean, we just don't have the price action for it. And I think that if that's going to trade, it's going to trade at close. It's going to be, I don't think it's coming any sooner than that.
So it's 307 right now. We got some time. We got time. I'm in no rush right now to get back into longs. Like, tried enough.
Russell is really close to making a new high day here.
Rather just trade SpaceX. I have some longs in SpaceX for like swings. Let's see. But it's on options. Let's see. Tracy girl, what's the stat of the straight, Tracy? Open or closed or under contention? Asks Shapcap 33.
Shapcap, what's up? Shapcap's so cool.
Oh, nice. Cole Haverson says, dude, Jack, my eye adjusted instantly after downloading Flux. Appreciate that info, dude. Oh,
Check it out. Free tool.
Tracy. Tracy says, LOL, effectively closed 2 vessels in the last 24 hours.
Tracy just has a lawn chair right in front of the Strait of Hormuz, and she sits there with binoculars and counts them.
Someone needs to make a website. Like, is the Strait of Hormuz closed today? Yes or no? Or like like the Twitter accounts that are like just tweet yes or no every day.
Hormuztracker.com.
Yo, take that domain before they take it. Quick.
What is a Hormuz?
What
Anybody
is a
know?
Hormuz?
What is a Hormuz? Does it mean something? Is it a person? Paint's not dry. Might be getting.
It's crazy, this divergence. NQ looks like it wants to just dump, and you have the Russell about to make new high day, 1 point away from new highs.
Bust. Maybe down to that 75 I wanted.
Yeah, I agree with NASDAQ looking a little weaker. Yes, right at its weekly open. 7777. Wow.
Wow.
Play lotto tonight, gonna have a better chance than trading this.
It was 900 million earlier this week. Somebody must have won.
It was?
Yeah. The Mega Millions, I think.
Damn. Oof. What would you buy if you won the lottery? Let's say you won $100 million in the lottery. Chat, what would you buy? What would you buy, Jack?
I want to say a jet, but that's not even enough money to have one.
Really?
Nah, not like a big
billion?
one.
Oh, you want like a G6? You're not gonna sell. Yeah. Don't go for the G2 or something. You might as well just charter it.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you're gonna ball out, you gotta ball out.
Michael Lefty says he'd buy 10,000 NQ contracts at the lotto. A chalet in Lake Tahoe. I love that. Mr. Josh Platinum says I'd pay people to do dumb stuff all day. So you'd be Mr. Beast.
Or Johnny Knoxville. A French chateau.
So what would you get, Jack? Not the other than the private jet that you can't get.
Yeah, man. It's so tough because like everything that's like costs a lot of money is just a lot of maintenance. So I'd probably just get I'd probably buy like a sick house in Hawaii actually no, Hawaii sucks for the trading.
Yeah, get up at 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Oh man, it's tough. I'd probably buy like a sick vacation for like all my friends and then one separately for all my families and just go do something really cool and charter a jet to go do it. Yeah, for sure. You guys come with.
Thank you.
Yeah,
you guys, yeah, sick house in Costa Rica would work because the time zone's same basically. You can get a lot with 10 million in Costa Rica and the taxes aren't that bad. So
at that point, why don't you just move to Puerto Rico?
I would say Costa Rica is a little different than Puerto Rico in many different aspects, but
I've heard a lot of good things about Costa Rica. I've not been there yet, though.
it's a lot more wealth in Puerto Rico. It's all concentrated in like one area, though.
Yeah, Dorado. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would get tired there because like it's just I would get bored.
All my friends that live there find it boring.
Because it's like, it's this one or two gated communities and it's like the same 8 restaurants. The Ritz-Carlton, like, okay.
All right, we're gonna get down to this 75 and I'm gonna add. Maybe we're not. Just gonna add here.
Russell did not quite take out that high yet. It came, hold on, 3 ticks. 3 ticks away from making new highs.
St. Croix, the best island in the U.S. Virgin Islands. You lived there for 3 years, Cole Halverson. That's cool.
You still live there?
Yeah, we got some in the chat.
Well, I lived there for 3 years. I'm not sure if he still lives there is my question.
You lived in the U.S. Virgin Islands?
No, I haven't. I've lived in Costa Rica.
Oh, Costa Rica. Okay.
But I'm just wondering if he still lives in St. Croix. My brother lived in St. Thomas for a while. Tax avoidance. Not evasion. Avoidance. There's a difference.
Yeah, it's difference.
There's a difference.
One's legal, one's not legal.
Yeah, there is a difference. Yeah, the no cap gains thing is definitely a nice thing in Puerto Rico, but I definitely think you need to be ripping down $10 million or more a year to really otherwise because then you got enough money to literally just jet wherever you want at any time. But if you're not making 10 million a year, then you're kind of just stuck on an island with tax benefits and no friends. So, or family, unless you don't care about that, which is fine.
Blue Shark would sell everything and travel.
I did add to my trade, yes. I use my ATR bracket order strategy. So my targets are all based on 1 ATR, 2 ATR, 3 ATR just stacked. I'm still pretty confident we're going to pop here. But that doesn't mean anything. It very well could not. Just not getting a lot of follow through to the downside that's so far, though. Not getting a lot of follow through anywhere.
Nope.
Nowhere.
Boring. You're playing Pictionary? See, what is she drawing here?
Guess who this is?
I'm going to go with Leo.
Yeah, the hat. I can't believe there was a day that he wasn't wearing the hat.
Yeah, he's exposed himself.
I need to go find that day where he didn't wear it.
They clipped it.
Yeah. I saw King was with him.
Bro, they were on stream today, and Deli goes, all right, let's bring in Bald Leo and Kane. He's like still going on with the joke. He thinks it's the funniest thing ever.
I love Deli's
Salma.
Instagram post with his shoes.
Bro, someone said Salma looks like a robot. I guess. I didn't know robots looked as good.
Damn. All right.
Damn.
All right. Depends on the futures contract. But quarterly for the indexes. Oh. Dude, this vol is absolutely ridiculous.
This what did you just say? What did you just say is ridiculous?
Volume,
Volume.
volatility, all of the vols.
I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna say volatility. I'm like, where? Where is the
the
volatility?
lack of it. The
Volume.
lack of it.
The lack thereof. Looks like NQ's curling. It still looks
Yep.
like it wants to drop.
I'm gonna get stopped out at 60s here. And that'll be it for me.
Yo, someone said Salma don't look like that, Tanya. How did you know I was drunk Salma?
Oh, I
you
didn't even
guessed
see it.
You literally guessed it. So I feel like this is pretty good. Look, I even gave her some,
Glasses.
yeah, glasses. And now I'm working on some makeup. There you go.
Let's see this. Bro, I'm dead. Did you just give me lashes?
Yeah. Makeup. Yeah, lashes on fleek.
Those are salon lashes. Those are well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Multi-talented.
Listen, who was the person that was supposed to short so that we could go up higher, chat?
Yeah, you need to do
Where
that.
was he? Where is he now?
He mu-
Damn,
he-
hope he's making that on his shorts.
yeah, I was gonna say he's probably freaking out that it worked.
Bro, looks like a buy at Selma's hair. Target her right eyebrow.
Target her
Eyebrow.
right eyebrow.
I'm dead. Eyebrows on fleek.
NinjaTrader says stop trying to make fleek a thing. Damn. I think I did pretty good there.
Looks like a thumb. Jeff, be nice. First off, be nice because that is supposed to apparently be me. And second off, be nice because Tanya
I worked
is an
hard
artist.
for you guys for your
Yeah.
entertainment. Yeah, we're right at VWAP for Eric. Nasdaq's right at VWAP. Will we bounce or will we flush? Or honestly, if given all this price action, I don't think that we're gonna do much. So probably gonna. I mean, we'll find out. ES is an inside hourly candle. That's why we can't have nice things, Nasdaq.
Yep, and Q dropping. I think I might get into ES shorts again.
Again, yeah.
30-minute. Oh, how did I miss this? How did I miss this 30-minute setup? Damn. I was too busy eyeing
The Russell?
gold.
Ah, okay.
All right, this
Yeah,
is
I
not the
don't know.
greatest entry at all. Would have taken it off of weekly open. I really like this previous 30-minute candle. How did I miss that? Chat, why nobody say anything? You guys know these are my setups.
What do you call that setup?
Oh, the Salma setup?
Okay. Nice.
I mean, I don't really know if there is an exact terminology for it, but I guess you can make the case that it could be like an evening star, except this is just a much larger wick rather than a small body. Chi-Town, it could be a little late for the short, but if NQ continues doing what it's doing now and looks like it continues to slide, then I think it can work.
Yeah, if I only had patience and waited for 75 instead of jerking myself in early, I'd feel a little more comfortable. But that's what happens in slow markets. You start losing your sanity. I need to go lay on my couch and do nothing and play a video game that doesn't involve trading.
One last guess, chat. You guys get to guess who this is.
I actually don't own a video game console, so technically I don't really play any video games, but if I was doing something else, I'm just saying something else besides trading this action.
That's smart, Rodizen. You took a vertical spread. Pretty good decision to do that today. So wait, which no. Xanderman Trades, yeah. This is Delhi. The color in half of the hair one side and the other half the other. Some people guessing Jack. At first I was thinking to do Jack, and then I just ended up doing Jelly, so that's probably why. Drawing them. That's why. Good job. Stowe 42. Is Stowe his first name or last name?
No, it's his last name.
Okay. That's cool. Yeah, NASDAQ slipping more. I'm guessing we gotta wait until 350.
That's right. 30 minutes left. 30 minutes.
NinjaTrader. I like that. Stowe is also like a famous actor's name. Yo, Jack, did you ever watch Fast and Furious?
I mean, gosh, one of the first ones. I don't know if I don't know if I've got 7 of them under my belt.
My dad would take us to see it. I didn't see all of them for sure, but I feel like
It's a run-on series, at some point. how fast and furious are we getting here, guys? You know, so I think they got like 8 of them now. But I mean, they're all like action packed. But like for like the originals ones, when I came out, I remember I was in high school. Everyone's like, "Yo, I want a Toyota Supra."
A Toyota Supra.
Souped up Supra. And then they had like, what was that TV show with Exhibit? It was like Pimp My Ride.
Yeah, like MTV Pimp My Ride, I think.
Yeah.
I think cars.
So you want to be a player, but your wheels ain't flying.
It was a great show.
I think Cars was better than Fast and Furious. The Cars
The cartoon?
Yeah.
I agree.
That's a good movie. And then their sequels are good too. I mean, they go to like Japan and start like racing street cars in Japan. Mater has a whole story.
Yo, I heard you want a fish tank in your speakers, man. That's funny. There's a kid in my high school whose dad owned like one of those customizing shops, and he had like 27 TVs and an Xbox in his car. Like it was like the show car for whatever his dad did. And I mean, we thought it was the coolest thing since sliced bread, but realistically, it was totally pointless. But it was cool. When you're 16, that is really cool. 27 TVs in a like they're just like a TV in the door panel, TV in the back seat, like made no sense.
I thought it was the coolest thing, yeah, when people had TVs in their cars, in the back of the seat. That was crazy. Yeah. I just personally took the portable DVD player on all the road trips.
And that's luxury living, baby. You got TVs.
Russell double top as of right now. No new highs by 1 tick.
I think you jinxed it when you called for him.
I mean, that's fine. Bring it down.
Wait, Salma, you didn't answer the question. I did not get to ask you actually.
What?
If you won the lottery, what would you buy?
Just one thing I can buy, or
No. Like $100 million. What would you buy?
probably send my parents on a vacation, buy them a nicer, bigger house, and then I don't know. That's probably it. What about you guys? I don't know if I missed what you guys said.
I said I was going to take you guys on a trip.
Oh yeah. That's
What do you
right.
mean,
That's
you
right.
forgot
That's
already?
right. No. I remember he said that. Yeah, he said his friends. He'd take his friends on a trip. Yes.
Ooh, Chichimus says that Trump is being sued over the plan to sell fast access to Truth Social posts. CNBC. Yeah, I'm pretty sure when I saw that, I was like, I don't think that's legal.
Somebody's at my door. Hold on. All right.
Buy another fridge for Leo. I think buy another oven for Kane. Kane's got 4 ovens. He could use another one. We gotta ask Jim. Jim probably buy a margarita
You ever
bar.
buy a martini machine?
Martini bar. Martini, yeah.
You just get a full-time martini maker. You definitely share though.
A martini, shaken not stirred.
A jet ski for your pool? Your pool must be pretty big if you can fit a jet ski in it. If you already got the pool, if you got a pool that fits a jet ski in it, I think you're already winning. That's a big pool. Really interesting how strong the YM actually held up there. Didn't take out that low. I mean, we were kind of late to break. I mean, once again, these markets are just totally different from one another right now. And that's when you're just like not getting bigger continuation. That's why I'm so afraid to you kind of got, I mean, we swept highs in the NQ and that was it, right? Just a trap at highs after, an hour and a half of consolidation right back to the bottom of the range.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, White House press secretary is to leave her role at the end of the month. News that just came out right now.
Wow.
What's her name?
Caroline?
Caroline Levitt.
Oh, has she been has it only been her so far this administration?
Yeah.
That's pretty incredible. She lasted.
Well, not for long.
Oh, 2 years is pretty good. That's a tough job no matter who's doing it.
Yeah.
Not
It's
a
like
job I'd
dealing
want.
with the chat in real life.
Yeah.
Everyone's yelling over
with
each
the
other.
whole world. Yeah, the whole world watching.
Yeah.
That is not something I would ever apply for.
Yeah.
I don't care how much it pays.
I also heard. I think she had a baby.
Oh,
So
that would.
I think that she.
Maternity leave would make
so
sense.
It might be maternity leave.
So she's pregnant? I imagine she must be pregnant.
No,
she
she already
had
had
it.
the baby, and I'm pretty sure she was already on leave for a while. But I don't know.
Okay.
Could be wrong.
I don't know.
I was gonna say.
She's back from the maternity leave. Oh, well, and who knows?
Yeah.
Oh, she just decided to stay home. All right. Well, the poll is out today they closed the poll. CPI is out today. What does it mean for the market the rest of the day? You guys were really evenly split. Watching and waiting at 34%. Already priced in was 30%. Rally, inflation cooling was voted by 23% of the chat, and sell-off is still too hot, 13%. So I agree. It's been a nothing burger here afternoon. Four-hour inside on the NASDAQ. Back at weekly open now. Phantom Going Crazy says, should I take this $4,000 or hope the algo sends it to hell for 7,000? I don't know. You said hope.
I would take the money.
Strategy.
I too would take the money. Especially if you have to ask.
Yeah, that's true. Shab is requesting a commission of a chart doodle of her dog Giuseppe. I love the dog's name. In New York,
that's an astute, fine gentleman, Giuseppe.
This is his dog, like home here. I'll just draw him in here, actually.
Giuseppe likes fine espressos and pup cups.
Mm-hmm. Just been take the money, don't spit in the wind. That's a good saying. I'm definitely gonna take that. Thank you. That's funny. See how good I can draw a dog, you guys.
And gabagool. Gabagool.
Woke up this morning, got some
Dude
gabagool.
are curly. So we gotta start making curly. I'm gonna look at reference photo. Buy or sell on NASDAQ. Yo, I don't know. Flip a coin, bro. I think that everyone should have a coin at their desk for those moments. Ah, yes. The doodle's not that cool. It's not that curly, actually. Gabagool. Oh, it's chart doodle. Got you. It's not a doodle dog. Yes. Okay. I don't like how big I made his forehead, not gonna lie. I'm gonna redo that part. We're dropping, chat. Oof. It's 3:41.
Not enough.
Do you know where your children are? My mom would watch that. When I was growing up, my mom would watch news on Fox 5 at 10 and then Eyewitness News at 11. Every day. And I'd be like, what new news came from when you stopped watching the show at 10:55 to the next show at 11? But anyway, Eyewitness News was always like, it's 11 p.m. Do you know where your children are? And my mom would look at the TV and just be like, yes.
They're right here.
They're right here. I know where they are. They're
I don't let them leave the house. Salma or Tanya's just on YouTube getting followers.
Oh my gosh.
Wait,
You know,
how
I know
long
where
was
you
it
are.
before
Wait,
your
what was that
parents?
thing you had? What was that thing you had?
A Tumblr, I told you.
Yes, she was on Tumblr.
Yeah, my mom was not happy when she found out I had a Tumblr.
You've been doing what in your free time? You're on Tumblr?
She was worried. Like, I don't know. Well, finally, I got
Oh man, we're gonna
something
crash
on
lows here in the NQ. Jeez.
Good. Drop it.
Is your ES moving with that? I don't have it on my screen right now.
Barely.
Not so much, but barely.
Barely.
Right. What a crank. It's crazy.
I'm just happy I knew when to quit for those longs. Ugh.
Range trade.
Mm-hmm.
Right back to the bottom there.
Come on, NQ, just flush it.
I mean, that's kind of crazy, Wick, right there.
I don't know.
Alright.
I don't think I think that low is in. If we couldn't, that's a hard wick out with not a lot of time left.
Yeah. All right, Shab, I hope you could tell that's a dog. Did pretty good, actually. What's your biggest trading pitfall? Revenge trading, cutting losers late, winners early, moving or not using a stop loss, or oversizing? I think most people it's revenge trading from what I've seen. Yay. Yeah, it's a hard day, Jason Lee. That's true. So there you go. Tom V6617. Yes, that was Channel 5 at 10 p.m. See, I don't know. I just said that she watched both. I don't remember which one it was. I wasn't paying attention. I was a kid. Mr. Josh Platinum, that looks like your dog if he's drunk. I hope your dog isn't drinking. You guys, earlier when you said that we have to buy the bottom of Salma's hair to go to the eyeliner, to the
eyebrows.
to go, it didn't work out.
Jason says, I'm quiet today. Well, there's really not much to talk about. If you guys would love to give us a topic, I'm all ears. Jason is funny. Maybe they'll play that clip.
Got 14 minutes left here.
Guys, I don't want to beg for the likes, but please, what
What
are we
will
doing?
happen at 350? Up or down, you guys? More
There you go.
downside? He literally said, I want to hear you beg for likes. Someone earlier told me a place to go to dim sum, Din Tai Fung in New York City. I just want to acknowledge that, and I wrote it down. See, it's by the MOBA.
They're gonna be
I've
waiting
not
for
been
you
there.
now.
Yeah. They won't know when.
Y'all can wait all day.
Be like the man who can't be moved.
It's a great song.
It is a good song.
It's just, it's a tearjerker.
I know. I love that
Just
song.
waiting for his girl. Salma has no idea what we're talking about.
Going
yeah,
back to the corner.
Where I first found you.
Go. Gonna take in my sleeping bag. I'm not gonna move.
I haven't heard that in a long time.
Got some. NinjaTrader's chat
Because
said,
if one day you'll come back and then you're missing me.
and your heart starts to wonder where on this earth I could be. Thinking maybe you'll come back here to the place that we'd meet. And you'd see me waiting for you
On the corner of the street. No, I'm not moving.
I'm not moving. Yeah. It cracked me up. NinjaTrader Live does not condone, support, encourage, or in any way endorse dogs drinking alcohol. However, they are fully welcome to trade futures and sit in on a poker game. Oh man, that's a classic. Painting dogs playing poker.
Yeah, that's by the script.
Yeah.
I think Broadway is calling.
I think that's what the Nasdaq's been playing in its head. I'm not moving.
Exactly.
Bro.
I'm gonna stay right here every day till you go absolutely nuts and this market drives you crazy.
Yeah.
We're gonna go back and forth. We're gonna barcode all day long. And just when you think you're right, you're gonna find out that you're wrong.
Yo, that was so
Keep
good.
going.
That was so good. Chat, hit the like button just for that.
Broadway might be calling if these markets keep moving like this. The Bellevue is going. Yeah. So
no.
I walk into the Bellevue with Pax. He's shaking hands. He's handing out dollars. Everybody knows him. I guess his son works
Attention traders.
Not to
It's
dox him,
algo
but-
time.
All right, chat, do we go back to the middle of the range at 350?
Tracy, there's a lot that they could clip there. I'm not sure what part they'd be clipping, but yeah.
They need to clip the freestyle. He made up his own song on the spot. It's too good.
All right, I closed that trade for whatever, 3 points. It was horrible. Algo time gave us a little bit of a move.
Yes, got a new low, no new low in the NQ there. I'm gonna clip it myself. Good short there, Salma. Little banger for
I
a
got
few
out,
points.
but
Yeah, but whatever. I mean,
You got
captured
money.
some
Money
of
is
this
money.
move, you know.
it is what it is. Should have
Yeah.
held that short.
Oh boy.
It is what it is. I mean, no, it's fine. I closed literally 1 point away from where we are now, so it's no point. Even if this thing decides to slide, I'm good.
I don't know. I think gold's the best for a continuation overnight. Or I mean, the Dow has been super weak here too. So I'm gonna be looking for Dow shorts tomorrow is kind of my theory.
You guys think what? I feel like we're gonna pin it right at the weekly open for the NASDAQ.
We gotta go back to 777, run the bell.
That would be funny.
Funny guy. Funny how?
You're funny how? You funny?
Wow, that was way quick.
Whoa.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm not proficient in typing. Like, did you guys have typing class in high school?
I had it
No,
in
not
middle
in high
school.
Oh yeah,
Like-
that's right. Middle school.
Oh, yeah,
They didn't
sorry,
have computers when I was in grade school, so you got to remember this. Those were invented post. So we learned that stuff in high school. Yeah, the
Yeah,
only
their
difference is,
computer
Jim, you
class.
learned on a typewriter.
Oh, coming at Jim like that. That's not nice.
I mean, I'm just stating
My
facts
parents,
here.
my mom had a typewriter.
No, I mean, it's just like
I
you guys
don't
probably
want a
learned on a
typewriter. Those are
laptop.
cool.
You guys probably had laptops, didn't you?
No, I learned
Yeah.
it on a computer.
Both, I guess, in school. It was like a computer lab.
My high school was pretty fancy. Actually, we had MacBooks.
Really?
Yeah, but my high school was rich AF.
Wow. We had Mac computers, but
They'd
like
be-
the old school, like the first version of them.
My district had some like the highest taxes in the state, and they passed 26 tax increase referendums in a row. So they were just bawling out.
Oh boy.
They were just
Oh,
like
there's the
MacBooks for
continued
the
drop.
children.
I think I typed like 60 words a minute.
That's pretty good. I don't really know what is considered good, but that sounds good to me.
Anyone that like plays video games can do like 100.
Bags of milk.
Jim.
Hey guys,
Hey, Jim.
Jim's back.
exciting times. Exciting times. Anybody still in a position?
Nope.
Of course, I closed mine, and now it's moving.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? We hit that 30,000 and that was it. I mean, I thought we were going to do it again.
Quite the
Didn't
fall
happen.
from grace.
I know. Selma, thank you for the playlist. I'm going to use it tonight.
You're welcome. I'm just letting you know from right now, it might not be your cup of tea.
Well, I saw it was yours where I saw 50 cent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's
All right,
back
cool.
when that gives me memories in my youth.
All right, yeah, there's a lot of 50 Cent in there.
Yeah,
You enjoy that.
absolutely. You guys, hang tight 1 second. Before we go, don't forget, nobody leaves. No one's leaving. We're just getting started here, guys. In a few minutes, we're going to transition. We have the one and only Jared Tendler is going to be with us for a retail therapy session in a couple more minutes. Internationally recognized mental game coach and author of The Mental Game of Trading. Jared's going to be talking to a couple traders, and they're going to talk about trading issues that the traders may be experiencing. And he is going to exercise all demons and create peace and love throughout the world. It's going to be awesome. Come in with your Q&As too. We'll take a few Q&As at the end. Jared will be with us for about an hour. So that's at 4 o'clock, guys. So hang tight. Oh, man. Tomorrow is also a Thursday, isn't it?
It feels like today's Friday, honestly, but yeah, tomorrow's Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah. We have, I know. I'm traveling this weekend, so it's coming up fast.
You're always traveling, Jim.
I'm going to,
Jim's on the
actually,
move.
I'm going to Jared's part of town tomorrow. I'm going to, Friday, I'm going to, Philadelphia.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are you gonna see Stowe there too?
No, UFC 350, baby.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's
Sick
gonna be fun.
invite.
You know what? You're gonna see
A
some
Russian dude
some
and
ninjas,
an
some
Irish
ninjas there.
dude.
You're gonna see Dan
Dan.
Hodgman.
I don't know.
Who's Dan Hodgman?
He works at Ninja.
No, I don't. No, this is off the books, man. This is just me
Oh.
and my brother going.
Oh,
thought-
okay.
Yeah. I'm not the official NinjaTrader sponsor there. No.
Oh, okay. Because I know
Yeah.
he's going with Ninja, so
Yeah.
I thought
But,
maybe you would too.
Is he going? Do you know, this weekend?
He's going this weekend, yeah.
I'm gonna reach out to him. Thanks you for telling me that, by the way. But also, I mean, we got a lot of work to do still this week. I mean, tomorrow we do also have a little bit of a special event. We have Farm for Tape Talk. I think we have Farm for Tape Talk, but we definitely have Vincent Desiano and Carmen the Big Ragu Risotto tomorrow to trade the open. I don't think we've seen these two combinations before. It's going to be awesome. Really, really looking forward to that. And Selman Jack will be back tomorrow as well, I think. Look forward to see you guys. Chris, XYZ, and Leo will also be joining the party. So we're going to have a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll have the aftermath of CPI. Who knows? Maybe we'll hit that 30,000. I'm not sure.
We have PPI tomorrow too, in 30-year auction.
Yep. So more fun, right? PPI. Sometimes PPI is before CPI. Sometimes it's after. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
They coordinate.
Who decides that?
I don't know, but it's both Bureau of Labor Statistics, right? You'd think.
Different departments, bureaucracy. You know how it goes.
They're keeping us on our toes, Jack. They're mixing it up a little bit. Oh my goodness. So Tanya, I think you're the only one I won't see before the weekend. Is that true?
Yeah. I'll see you
right,
next week.
I'm going to wish you a happy weekend early.
Oh, thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll have a martini for you.
Well, there you go. I'll have one for me
Just for
too.
you. Oh.
Yeah, I'm dead.
I'll say cheers to you, Tanya.
Oh, thank you.
All right, let's see where we close here.
Big
That's
bounce there in the ES.
Yeah, what is that?
More freaking action in the
Kinda
last 5 minutes
crazy.
than we've had since this morning.
Right at
Got-
that weekly open again for the NASDAQ.
Watch us get up to the previous day high here in the NASDAQ up at 87s. Just get a slammer candle.
Glamour candle.
Call it.
All right.
Wow. This is
Yeah,
a
wow,
big
right.
move in the ES.
That's the biggest candle we've seen for a while.
Yeah.
All right. There we have it. Another one in the bank. Let's give these three a round of applause for a job well done. Thank you, folks, for being here with me. Trade a lot. Jack and Selma, see ya tomorrow. And then
See
Tanya, again,
ya.
have a nice weekend.
See
Thank you so
ya.
much.
Take care.
All right. Bye,
Later.
guys.
Bye.
Take care,
And
chat.
it's about that time. Retail therapy with Jared Tendler. Let's do it.
All right. Thanks, Jim. Appreciate it. And cool to hear you're going to be in the Philly area. The weather's going to be nice for you. It's been been beautiful here. All right, everybody. Retail therapy. If this is your first time joining, retail therapy is your chance to get your mental game questions answered and learn from two traders just like you who are trying to make it, and they're struggling with some things. We're going to talk to Brian and Eric today. And if you want to be a guest on a future episode of Retail Therapy, fill out my survey. Go to surveymonkey.com/r/NinjaTrader. We'll throw the link into the chat. And look, chat, today, I want to hear from all of you. All right, last couple sessions have been fantastic. We've got a lot of good interaction, including your questions, right? Topics that you want to learn more from me about, or get your questions answered. So I'm going to talk with Brian first, get to some of your questions, bring Eric up, get to more of your questions. We'll do a lightning round and try to get to as many as we possibly can. So with that, let's bring Brian in and see what issues he is dealing with. Brian, welcome. How are you?
Hey, Jared. I'm fine, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for being here.
Sure. Thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely. Yeah, listen, I saw your survey and thought you'd be a great guest. Maybe if you could just kind of bring everybody else up to speed here. What are the issues, or actually maybe first a bit of your trading background, and then you can get into the issues that we're going to dive into today.
Sure. I started full-time trading about 5 years ago. And it was mostly just stock picking, buying and hold, position trading. I kind of transitioned into options and spreads and shorter time frames. And then I kept getting into smaller time frames like zero DTEs and stuff like that. Then I started doing day trades. And now I'm finally settling on scalping. And what I do now full time is I scalp the index futures, specifically the NASDAQ, the NQ. So it's a progression into that. That's kind of how I've gotten to where I am. Now I can talk about all the problems I'm having or anything else you want to talk about.
Yeah, let's get into it. I mean, listen, to me, psychology is best served for somebody in your shoes who's got some good experience and knows kind of where the issues are that are recurring, right? I think a lot of times you're dealing with early issues. Sometimes it can be technical, but when you've got these recurring mistakes that are happening again and again, despite your best efforts, that's where we kind of know psychology is kind of the impairing factor. So yeah, what are the issues that you're facing right now?
So thankfully, I've worked out almost all of the mechanical and technical issues. I've had so much screen time that it's a lot of it really is automatic and it's nice. What I really tend to struggle with still is overtrading. If I'm having a good day, like today I had a fantastic day. My scalping strategy has an 84% win rate, which is unheard of in scalping, especially considering I have a very narrow risk to reward window. So when it's working, I mean, it's just working. And I tend to get overconfident and I think, I don't need these rules. Rules are for chumps. I can do this. I can just, throw something at the wall and it'll stick, that. So overtrading, overconfidence is probably the bigger one. I still, to this day, after 5 years, I'll revenge trade after a pair of losses. If I get back-to-back losses, man, oh man, and I'd be lying if I said it just happens all of a sudden out of nowhere. After reading your book, I know there's warning signs, but I'm not so great at catching them and stopping myself to this day.
Mm. And just kind of building off that last point first, you can see them happening in real time, or they're just a little bit kind of fuzzy, because look, when you're scalping, I mean, your mind can be moving really, really fast, right? So
has to.
Yeah, it has to, right? So are the warning signs kind of loud enough, or did they just kind of get glossed over just because of the speed of which you're operating?
So the scalping strategy I have, it throws out about, I don't know, anywhere from 10 to 25 signals a day. So it's not super high frequency. There's a lot of time in between where I have to sit on my hands, and I'm usually pretty good at it. What I need to get better at is taking those losses, taking them quickly and moving on, because what happens is if I get two in a row and then there's this time where I'm waiting for the next signal, I just got to get back in there. And it's a feeling that comes over me, and I start reaching for the mouse and most times now I can stop my hand from touching the mouse, but I fall for it sometimes still.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, would you say the revenge trading is a bigger issue than the overconfidence in terms of cost?
Yes, because when I'm having a great day, the overconfidence, I jump in. Unfortunately, the market rewards me because I'm in such a groove, and I don't want it because I really want to like stop that. So I would have to say that the revenge trading is the bigger problem because that hurts the P&L more, which I know I shouldn't worry about. I should worry about how well I follow my rules. Can't help it. It's who I am.
Sure. I do think we have time to get to both if the first one is,
oh, cool.
We're able to be efficient here. But look, for everybody else watching, maybe throw in the chat some of the signals that you have for revenge trading. I know our friend here is not alone in dealing with revenge trading. Now, Brian, for you, at this point, right, to me, it seems interesting that after that first loss is kind of when the indicators of revenge trading kind of creep up.
Probably should. Yes. I should recognize them sooner than I actually do. Yes, you're right.
Well, I'm mostly saying that just taking the loss would actually be sort of the indicator that you should be more on guard. And I'm okay. You're noting it already. My curiosity was why you thought that perhaps that wasn't as big of kind of a point of orientation. Because again, like you think about a particular position setting up right for your strategy, and there's kind of a clear inflection point where an opportunity kind of creeps up. Mentally, it's the exact same thing, right? So taking a loss should create the interest for yourself that revenge trading has a higher probability of arriving.
Yes.
And I'm curious why at this stage that hasn't kind of jumped out to you as clearly as I'm perhaps saying it now.
When I think about it logically, if I'm going to take 20, 25 trades a day, I'm going to get 3 or 4 losers. And I'm trying to get better at saying, hey, it's a loser. Take it, move on. But I take it personally, and I don't know why.
So the taking the loss personally actually doesn't allow you to have a bit more of a sort of sober mentality there. You're immediately kind of more emotional than you realize, that is then sort of shutting down the awareness.
I lose objectivity. 100%.
Okay. Yeah. And so why do you think you take it personally? What
because I'm so smart. I know where the market's going. How dare it, diss me like that? That's.
So here's the interesting thing, and this for everybody else too here. Revenge trading always has 2 components to it. One piece is the anger associated with losing, mistakes, or bad luck. Generally, those kind of 3 big categories. In your case, it's the loss. Plus a weakness in confidence. Now, that weakness can either be you're overconfident and kind of verging on the side of a bit of entitlement. The other side is a lack of confidence, and the anger is trying to kind of grab hold of more money, right? Get a win to compensate for the loss. In your case, having already talked about overconfidence as being a secondary problem, basically what you're saying here is when you take things personally, you are defending against your intelligence, your belief that your superior intelligence ought to be rewarded here. So in both cases, overconfidence is the problem. So we actually can work on the revenge trading and the overconfidence simultaneously, because I would imagine when things are going well, now your superior intelligence is getting rewarded, and you want that train to just kind of keep riding in the same way. Yes. So directionally, the exact same thing is happening. You are trying to pull yourself back towards this. Well, I'm smart. I put maybe some hard work in here this as well. So I must get rewarded, whether it's after a loss or after successive wins. Does that sound like a fair assessment?
That 100%. That resonates very, very deeply.
Okay. So what is it about your view of intelligence then that is just not sophisticated enough to allow you to be more sober in this situation?
Maybe it's thinking back over the thousands of hours that I've put into this. It's like Like you said the word entitlement, that kind of fits. Like I'm entitled to know where the market's going before it goes there because I put so much time and I've spent so much money on education, et cetera, yada, yada. And so for me to be wrong is just an affront to me, I guess.
Yeah, makes sense. So now we can say it makes sense, and chat here. Look, what I'm doing is trying to dissect the deeper kind of roots of this. It's very easy to view revenge trading, and I see some good examples of the revenge trading in the chat here. It's very easy to kind of view what you're doing as irrational, but none of you are crazy here. There's rationality. You just don't quite yet understand the logic behind it, and I think Brian, what you said is very apt. Right? I put a lot of hard work in this. I deserve it. I'm smart. I've hard work. A plus B should equal reward. And yet we clearly know that there's something flawed in there. And the flaw is ultimately what's producing the anger that is kind of rapturing your mind and forcing you to continue to trade without sort of sobering up and getting yourself back on solid ground.
Okay.
So what do you see as the flaw in that perspective, that your time and energy and intelligence should equal the ability to know where the market's going to go?
The market is random, and deep down enough, I know that it is, and nobody knows which way it's going next. So for me to take it personally that the market moves against me when I place a trade and it should go, I know how dumb that sounds. I do. So that's, to me, is the flaw.
So no, that is what I hear very, very often, right? It's the sort of technical logic that says how you're thinking is wrong. And what I'm saying is, no, your thinking is not wrong. It makes sense for the reasons you said earlier. The flaw is that you believe in the predictive power of what you've done. You are a probabilistic machine. You're not a psychic. So you're sort of falsely equating the hard work that you've put in to create a deterministic outcome, that by having all that hard work, having 5 trades win in a row, that means that you know exactly what's going to come next.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Does that make
100%.
sense? Does that
Absolutely
mirror kind of what it feels like in the moment, that you kind of know what's coming?
Yes. That's at the crux of the mistake. Yes.
So that's what's happening when you're overconfident. Does it also feel like what's happening when the revenge trading is kicked up? All right, so you've taken a loss now. Do you feel like you know what's coming, or do you just wish?
The latter, 100%. When the market has taken money from me, damn it, I'm going to take it right back. And I jump right back in before the signal happens because I deserve it. Silly. I know, but I do it.
Silly, but you do it because there is a belief that the hard work has created that predictive power or that type of control. So maybe it's not just pure prediction. Maybe it's that the hard work equals control over your outcomes.
Yeah, that's a good point. Control over the outcomes. That nails it.
Yeah. So in that moment when the anger's creeped up, you believe that you can control the next outcome. Again, not logically. We know that it's not logical, but deep down, the emotion is kind of compelling you for that reason.
Yeah, I know where this is going. I'm putting the trade on right now. I'm going to get my money back. Yeah.
So it is an attempt for you to gain control, but it's only happening because you deep down believe that your hard work creates that type of power, that type of control.
Yeah, obviously that's something I need to let go of. Yes, 100%.
Well, so the letting go, I think, gets easier by more firmly grounding yourself, connecting to what you do have control of, and to be thinking about that on a regular basis, especially because directionally you can get overconfident or have the revenge trading kick up. And the answer to both sides of that is the same thing, which is remembering at the start of every trading day, here are the things that I have control of. Here are the things that I do not have control of. I do not have control of where price is going to go. Do not have control of the outcome of individual trades.
I control the inputs, not the outputs.
I control the inputs.
I get it.
Again, I think intellectually you understand that, But what we're trying to do is apply that logic in the heat of the moment when you take a loss or when at a certain inflection point you've taken successive wins to get yourself back to that reality. Sometimes the answers are not like we have to invent something new. You already kind of know what I'm talking about here. It's about applying the correction in the heat of the moment, because the anger or the overconfidence is there because you're forgetting these fundamental ideas. And maybe having tried to correct it by reminding yourself that, the market is, there are random outcomes, each time, right? I can't predict. And yet there's a part of you that, wants to have that control.
True enough. Yeah.
So you kind of can't force that logic to take place unless you are firmly connected to what you can control and what you cannot.
Yeah. Probabilistic. Yep. I get it.
Probabilistic. So what I would do is create a little bit of a list of all the things you control, all the inputs that you said, and all the things that you don't control, so that in the heat of the moment, you're more connected to that. It's not a super complicated idea, but I think it's just about kind of
Definitely
putting
going to do that.
the pieces
Definitely.
together.
Yeah. Good stuff. Yes.
Cool. Do you have a sense as to whether or not the overconfidence is going to get taken care of in the same way that we're talking about with the revenge trading here?
What you've said really resonates, and I'm thinking about my trading behaviors throughout today and yesterday and the day before, as you were saying it, and it really does fit. And I want to explore that, over the next couple of days, in the moment, to see whether I can get back to a more place the trade when the trigger hits, and it's either going to work or it's not, and stop thinking that I have any control over the outcome whatsoever. That's a good exercise over the next couple of days.
I would suggest, now that you're saying it in the way that you have, that you actually could start reminding yourself of that for every trade. Right? So once you enter a trade, the drumbeat in your mind is, my control is in my risk management at this point, not in the outcome.
Yeah.
And just to repeat it. Now, there might be a fatiguing effect here. And I want to make clear for you this as well as chat. Like, anytime that you're using your mind to kind of battle up against these emotions and try to instill a fresher perspective, right? You're not trying to negate the old thinking. This is kind of a fundamental misunderstanding about how learning happens. Right? You do not want to just forget about all the mistakes. You do not want to forget about the faulty perspectives that have created these problems. What you're trying to do is upgrade your perspective. Because like if we think of trading like completing a very complicated maze, you take a bunch of wrong turns, right? You find the dead ends. You find the things that don't work. You don't want to forget that, because if you do, you're going to repeat them again in the future.
Okay, I get that.
So we're instead trying to upgrade your perspective. So in the process of doing that, right, in the heat of the moment, right, there's gonna be some fatigue that's gonna take hold. So do not be surprised if after a certain chunk of time during the session that you become more vulnerable to a setback because your mind is weakening. Okay, you're in the gym, you have only so much endurance, you have only so much strength before your body kind of gives out. And the mind can do the same thing while you are making progress here. So I can guarantee that there's somebody in chat here now who has tried to use my system to make improvements, and they've put themselves under incredible stress because they've done incredibly well for a couple hours, and then all of a sudden, things blow up and they feel like they did it wrong. And I'm telling you very clearly, you did not. Right? All you did was you just left yourself out there just a little bit too long, and your mind wasn't strong enough to continue to stay strong. If you're in a room and there's a fly buzzing around, how long is it going to fly around before it just drives you nuts? I mean,
right.
like it's just that's what these kind of internal emotional reactions can do to ourselves. It can just drive us nuts. So here you are trying to get ahead of it. There's going to be times where there's the overconfidence and the revenge trading are going to flash. Now the battle gets bigger. You might decide to kind of lock up some progress a little bit early, okay, and just feel the win. I often kind of relate this to physical therapy. Have you ever had to go to physical therapy for shoulder? No. I've gone, shoulder injuries, hip, whatever. They never want you to take steps backwards. Okay. They want the progressive overload, right, where they're kind of creating strength or mobility or endurance to really be kind of linear and step by step. They do not want setbacks to occur. And I think here, like, everybody can make their own decisions, but I would suggest for you, Brian, given what you're dealing with, especially because you're a scalper, do not let yourself take steps backwards here. Feel the progress kind of gaining steadily month over month. And through that, you'll feel almost a bit of a consolidation, right? Like there's a decent leg up. All right, well, now we got to go through, a phase here where there's a consolidation of that progress. And it can take a little while. Give yourself to the end of the year before you really start to kind of let the training wheels off and you're kind of riding more free.
I get it. That's awesome. Thank you.
Okay. Brilliant. Very welcome. Well, thanks again for coming on, and appreciate your experience and sharing it with everybody here.
Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you.
Very well. Awesome. All righty, chat. I see a lot coming from you. Let's get to some questions here. All right. So got Eric's. It's so easy to think I know what the market's going to do, and when it doesn't, it hurts more than when you think that. Well, at least for me. No, it's not just for you. That's for a lot of people. And again, like, it's easy to think that way because your mind is either believing the illusion that you have control, you have this wish or a desire to have that kind of control. These are not irrational ideas. I talk about them with clients all the time. So the key is, right, that you are not allowing yourself to have that thought unchecked, right? It is like, realizing that you've stepped on, that your ankle is experiencing a little bit of pain. Okay, you're going to go to PT and you're going to get that thing rehabbed. That's the same thing here, right? When you have the thought, I know what the market's going to do, alarm bells have to go off in your mind. That is a thought that must be out of bounds, right? And immediately then you can say, no, stop. I do not have control. Here is what I have control of, right? And what I have control of creates a probabilistic machine. It creates a profit margin in this business. It does not create my ability to be a psychic. Otherwise, hang a shingle as a business that says you're a psychic. And the reality is you're not one. So, yeah. All right. This is from Kaz. Hesitation seems to get the best of me. When I hesitate and the trade would have worked out, I then get upset and hesitate on the next possible entry. This is certainly a very common one. So hesitation is generally associated with fear, some risk aversion, a bit of, not necessarily FOMO, but sometimes some frustration can be there as well, where you're kind of like not wanting to miss out, and yet the hesitation almost kind of creates it. So we think about that protection against what? Making a mistake, taking a loss, bad luck, creating a loss. So if you're continually hesitating with these trades, that tells me that you're not giving yourself the opportunity to be successful. And a part of you views the risk of the immediate loss greater than the risk of a long-term successive losses, not necessarily just in P&L, but in terms of the opportunity cost. I mean, obviously it's in P&L. What I mean is, like, it doesn't mean that you are losing money over that time frame. That's what I meant. What it does mean is that you're going to lose out on what you could have been getting, and that is going to make trading so under profitable for you that it might not actually be worthwhile to continue to do it, which to me I think is the much bigger cost. So, like, if you're going to trade, then you've got to be willing to take the risk to be successful. And that is by far the biggest and most common version of this sort of hesitation there, Cause. If there are some additional points you want to make here, let me know, and I'll be happy to follow up on there. All right, we see some of the I see this this poll here. Many of you are cutting losers late and cutting winners early. I actually would say that those are often two separate issues. The cutting losers late is more out of hope, right? You hope or wish that the trade is going to turn around, and so you're sometimes removing stops entirely, sometimes just not even putting on a stop, out of hope that you can kind of fly the ship without full instrumentation. The cutting winners early goes back to, in essence, what I was just talking about with Cause, where you're fearful of having that unrealized P&L get eviscerated and reverse and stop you out. There, it's not about hope as much as it's about the protection against that loss, which can oftentimes be associated with the anger of losing, especially when you have the thought, oh, I should close here. You think that's intuition. It's not intuition. It's emotion. It's emotion trying to protect you from the frustration that's going to come when that loss gets realized. But similarly, the hope or the wishing that prevents you from having a stop and taking losses properly can also be a byproduct of your overreactions to losses. So yeah, 46% of you may be dealing with the exact same thing, which is a significant hatred of losing. And if that is the case, maybe you are just protecting yourself from actually getting stronger. Maybe you are actually strong enough to take a loss, and you're just not giving yourself the room to actually prove it. And I say that because I see it all the time. For those of you who cut losers late and cut winners early, do you believe that you're weak? Do you believe that you're too weak to actually handle a loss? I think consciously many of you would not say that. I'm curious here, chat. What do we think here? Are you weak, or are you strong enough actually to take the hit, but you're not giving yourself the ability to prove that strength? I would argue it's the latter. And if it's not the latter, well, then being able to learn how to take a punch gets a lot easier when you can kind of sit with that frustration, right? And it dissipates very quickly. So often we react to the anger, trying to take another loss, or again, kind of hold out hope that we don't have to deal with it. But we react with the anger, and then more mistakes and issues kind of unfold as losses mount and more trades, poor trades get taken, and yada, yada, yada. We know what that story looks like. But if you just kind of eat the loss, sit there with it for 10 minutes, I can promise you it will start to dissipate. The anger doesn't hang around that long, and if it does, you can do a little bit of writing, go for a walk, things dissipate, right? Emotion is fluid. It's not so permanent, and certainly losses aren't permanent either. Let's see here. JB Money, definitely not weak and definitely not letting myself get stronger. Exactly. That's exactly it. You're not letting yourself get stronger. Like, I'm not saying that you are as strong as you need to be able to thrive and drive yourself to higher levels in trading. There's a progressiveness, right? Like kind of getting in the gym and building more muscle. Yeah, maybe you need to get stronger, but you're definitely stronger or strong enough at this point to be able to take the losses. So get in the gym, lift the emotional weight of that. I could promise you, you'll surprise yourself and be able to climb a little bit higher here. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah. We as human beings will do far more to avoid pain than we will to gain pleasure. So that is something called prospect theory. It comes from Daniel Kahneman. See it on my back shelf there. Thinking Fast or Slow is the book that he wrote. Prospect theory is not a law of human nature. It is very, very common, right? That a majority of people are far more motivated to avoid pain. Why? Because the pain of losing hurts more than the joy or the satisfaction of winning. But it's not true for everybody, and that dynamic can change as your perspective begins to shift, especially when you realize that, look, if you're always more motivated to avoid losses, well, then you have to incur losses to create motivation. So yes, some of you do actually take losses when you're doing well to give yourself that kick in the butt to get focused and perform better again. So this is not a dynamic that has to stick around. And you can become more attached and connected to your aspirational nature to drive yourself higher. Best way to do that, define for yourself what you love about trading, what you're driven for beyond just the P&L. Because I think when you start to make it all about the money, then you lose a little bit of the quality associated with it. Many of the clients that I work with, they love trading. They love the constant challenge. They love that every day is unique. It brings out their creativity. It forces them to be harder workers. They love the challenge and just the desire for themselves to get better on a personal level, right? The personal growth that can come from trading, the intellectual exercise, the ability to work with unique people, the way in which trading kind of touches almost every aspect of our lives. So look, there's a lot of things that trading can bring to you and a lot of benefits that can come from it. So when you connect and have a bit more awareness of the things that you truly love about trading, yeah, then more of the top end, joy and satisfaction can come out, and it can become a little bit less about, avoiding the pain of losses. All right, let's get to some other questions here. Estradax, question about the thing that I hear you say the most, that you can only expect you at your worst. Can you explain that? Yes. So I'm not saying that your worst is going to happen. Okay. When I say you can only expect your worst, I'm not saying that that is what's going to occur. I'm saying that it is the only aspect of your performance that has been mastered. And your worst also includes lots of good things. Right? It includes a lot of skills and knowledge that you've developed over the years. So you at your worst is just relative to your current best. So it's your current worst against your current best. But the odds are that your current worst is probably pretty significantly better than your worst of 6, 12, or 18 months ago. So it really is just about kind of time and place. So when you are at your current worst, you are accessing all of the knowledge and skills and experience and wisdom that has been mastered. When you are, performing better than that, you are utilizing knowledge that is still in the process of being learned. And in order to access it, you have to have focus, energy, emotional stability. And if you don't, well, then you're going to regress back to your bottom. So to me, and actually this does go back to the previous question about prospect theory, when you are performing better than your worst, you should actually get to feel good about it, right? It's not expected for you to. Yeah, now, yes, maybe that is lowering the standard a little bit too much, right? And saying that, everything better than our worst deserves celebration. I'm not saying that. Let's not go crazy here, okay? The point is, though, you do get credit for how high you can climb each and every day. And especially if you're consistently performing in your A game, you deserve a lot of credit, because it means that you understand the variables, the factors that produce your best, right? How are you going to consistently get your mind clear, your energy, stable, your emotions stable, your energy high? To be able to do that consistently is a challenge, right? That's why I have clients at every level of this game. It's understanding that formula can be tricky. So when I say you're expecting your worst, it's only because that's what's guaranteed. Everything else is earned. Sorry, not guaranteed. Only everything else that you don't need to have emotional stability, focus. You can be tired, tilted, frustrated, cloudy, overwhelmed, and your worst will show up. That much you can guarantee. Which, to some degree, right, some of you can gain a lot of confidence from, because when you know that your worst is not that bad, it becomes a lot easier for you to perform your best. And I do work with many traders right now who, when they are at their worst, they are still significantly profitable. right? And they're obviously a lot more profitable when they're at their best, and we're not aiming for their worst. But there's a lot of confidence that comes from understanding that their backbone, is basically quite strong and capable. All right, Guido is saying, my issue is impulsivity. How to be more patient and take less trades. I'm working on only trading my system. How or what can help me slow down a bit? So here's the very important thing here, Guido, and I would like you to post a little bit more here just to make sure that I address your question properly. And this goes for everybody. You have to be able to ensure that your impulsivity or lack of patience is not coming because of some emotion like FOMO, revenge trading, overconfidence, lack of confidence, fear. If it's coming from emotion, then it's not an impulsivity and a lack of patience issue. It's one of those emotions producing that kind of a reaction. And that's where the issues come from. So I think the first thing we want to make sure of is just that. And I don't see you responding quite yet. So if it is a pure discipline problem, then the impulsivity might be because you're a little bit too much of an action junkie. And I say that because that's what I'm seeing more and more commonly these days, especially with the phone use, especially with other sort of online, addictive things, that can make trading an even more kind of addictive thing here, where the need for that dopamine hit, the need for that action just drives you higher to want more and more action. And so if you're going to curb that, I strongly advise that you pay very, very close attention to your data consumption, in a lot of other areas, not just in trading, but with your phone, and perhaps, food can be one as well. The impulsivity, it can kind of come from a lot of different places here. All right. All right. Eric's is saying he gets impulsive because I'm excited that I'm close to my first payout and then I blow my pro account fast. All right. That is not impulsivity. That is the same kind of predictive nature that I was just talking about there with Brian earlier. You would not get excited if you knew you were going to blow the account. You get excited because you think that you're going to get the payout. So here's the deal. You want to get payouts the right way. You do not want to get payouts because you get lucky. So to get payouts the right way means to continue to trade properly. And then when you get those payouts, probabilistically, you're more likely to be successful. I can't tell you the number of times I talk with traders where they continue to blow accounts because after getting these payouts, because their trading changes afterwards, right? The ability to trade consistently through these kind of very important kind of markers in your career is essential. And so I urge you to continue trading the right way through those periods, and that will create more of a sustainable kind of upward trajectory for you here. All right. So, I see your question there. I'm going to get to you here in a second, but we're going to bring on Eric, who I know had a little bit of technical difficulty. So, glad you made it here, Eric. Happy to see you.
Can you hear good?
I can, yes. Yeah? Thanks.
Awesome. All right.
Perfect.
Very glad to be here too.
Yes. So, if you would, can you just kind of briefly describe your trading history so everybody can kind of know where you're coming from and the issues that we're going to tackle here today?
Well, I've been trading for 6 years now. I basically trade order flow. I use a chart very, very few times. Most of the time, I'm just reading the book, finding liquidity pools, and my main goal is mean reversion. So I try to find moments when the market is no longer producing displacement, and then try to get against it. That's pretty much it.
Got it.
And my difficulty is really, it took me a really long while to figure it out, I think. It's to be afraid of failing, really. I have this very difficult time accepting the uncertainty of markets. For example, when I see the right moment to get in, I keep trying to find something else to tell me that it's a certain move that I can get in. And then by the time you think you're still waiting, the movement's already gone and all your risk reward is gone. So it doesn't matter. You can't chase it anymore. I don't have this problem of chasing because I know the right time to get, where would be the right time to get in? So I don't have a problem of getting in late or too early. My problem is to get in at the right time. And when you trade like order flow scalping, this is essential. You have to get exactly at the right time. Otherwise, risk reward is gone.
Right. So are you basically looking for 100% certainty that the trade is going to play out?
That's the thing. Yes, I think that's the main thing, because there are layers to that. It took me, like I said, 6 years and a lot of chat GDP back and forth, and read your book. I've seen counseling for 2 years. 2 years, about, say, 3 years ago, I had 2 years of counseling. And still, when you think you're almost there, there's always another layer for you to cover. So it is very towing on you. It's very taxing on your psychology, I think.
Right. And so how long has this desire for absolute certainty been a problem?
I think now in the 6th year, it's been harder because now I'm going crazy, really, because I have to make a living out of this. I have gigs and all, but I want to make money. And every time, the pounding on you, every day, go in, go out, and you're losing and you're losing and you lose. I never had a blown account or anything like that. I'm super controlled. Right. But the problem is, it's like you don't know what to do anymore, and then after the fact, everything is super easy. But beforehand, it's different. So when you see the movement going your way, you say, oh, I should have done that, or I should have done this. But when it's the time for you to do it, you just don't do it. You just don't pull the trigger. And then you have your spreadsheet and you write down all the times that you missed and they were good trades. And when you finally, build your courage to get in, it's a losing one. So you have to let the statistics work their way. And it's very hard to accept that. And I'm finally, I think, coming around that. But it's not easy because you have to accept that genuinely. And I think it's something different. It's no longer a case of knowing what to trade, how to read order flow. I know all that. The problem is you have to accept, you have to jump, really, I think.
So here you are trying to kind of solve your own issues, right? But thus far you're here because you have not been able to. And I would say that you're not going to get there by sort of force feeding yourself this acceptance. Yes. Okay. And I say that not just for you, but for everybody else here.
Everybody, yeah.
Yeah, because the force feeding of acceptance generally doesn't work because there's an underlying flaw, bias, wish, illusion, expectation, hope that is running in the background of your mind that is not going to allow it to kind of click in place, right? It's like throwing a piece of paper in a fan. It's just going to get spit right back out. And that's what's happening to you, right? You have the intellectual understanding. There's no doubt about that, right? as for many here, right? For our previous guest, Brian, right? The intellectual knowledge is here, but what you're not understanding is the thing that is blocking you from truly accepting it. And I would argue, and the reason I was smiling earlier, I'm not sure if you noticed, the reason I was smiling earlier is because I suspect that you're at a stage in this game where you feel like you have checked every single box. And now,
depend on the box you're talking. I think technically speaking, maybe there's always something new for you to learn.
Sure.
But like the inchworm concept you said, there is some emotional problem, baggage, whatever you want to call it, that is holding me back. And this is not clear. It's not 100% clear. I've seen glimpses of it.
Yeah. I guess
but it's like you need a lot of screen time, or you need a lot of this seeing time for you to start to grasp of what really is. I think. I'm not sure. You're the expert.
Well, yeah, but I guess my point is, like, I think maybe there's a part of you that feels like you can now kind of expect to get the results you want because of all the work and time and effort you've put in.
That's part of, yes, I can, yes, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it reminds me actually of a client that I worked with, a PGA Tour player, who, and he admitted it afterwards. It was like felt like he was doing all the right things because by doing all the right things, that was his mind's way of manipulating the results.
Yeah, I think you got pretty close, if not it. I know what you mean.
Yeah,
like already here it is. So now, okay, give me the results now.
Exactly, and because I've done all the right things, like
yeah, I've done everything.
I deserve it, I get it. Exactly, yeah. So it's a weird thing, and I think this is maybe where you were trying to kind of go before with the sort of acceptance idea, that here is this bucket of things that you have control of. And by taking control of these things, there is no bleeding into the results category.
Okay.
Right? Meaning, by being in control of all these things does not mean I then get to be in control of my results.
No, because you have variance here, right? And you have the statistics. You're never really going to know when it's going to work, but you have, that's the thing. There's no have to, because when you say have to, it's like you say you're imposing something. I get that.
Yes, correct.
It's like giving yourself to it. It's a surrender, really. For example, today I had a bad day. And after I say, maybe I'm going to try, and I say, no, cut it out. You know, you have your jaw, you know what it is, stop right there. And then when you sit with that feeling and you are watching, not trying to avoid, it's like I was feeling like a defeat, but it was not really a defeat. It was like a defeat of how I used to feel about the market. Like there is something, there is a technique, or there is something I'm going to find that will be certain. And it was as if this thought was dying, and part of me was dying with it.
Fantastic. We want it to die.
Exactly, but at the same time, the whole system is collapsing, and I felt like maybe I'm not for that. I'm not cut out for that. But then again, I was thinking about it, and then ChatGPT, my personal psychologist, I wrote everything down, what I was feeling, everything. Say, look, what you're feeling, it's like what we were talking, and I could see on your face. You said, yes, you are maybe somehow figuring out there's no certainty here. And that part of you that was looking for that certainty, it's finally realizing there's no certainty. And you have to accept that. And it's hard.
Again, they have to accept that. So what it tells me, and this is where, and I will put out a big warning for all of you who are using ChatGPT as your personal therapist. It is, for lack of a better phrase, dog crap in terms of the deeper analysis.
Yes.
It might give you a decent summary, but it will not create the precision in understanding the underlying causality. Because what you're describing is that there was a part of you, and still is, that wishes that you could have that kind of predictive control over your results. And that is what was slowly dying. And by having it slowly die, right, there's a kind of a decoupling, in a sense, of where your control lives. So the part of you that thinks that you could actually have control over the outcome, right, is dying. But then the part of you that has control over your results, or sorry, have control over your process and your execution, is dying with it as well.
Exactly. It's like a mirror looking to another mirror. It's crazy, really. And it took me a while to figure this out, because you have to sit with that feeling, and it's not a nice feeling, really.
But
because you have to let it
the power of these wishes, right? And it's not irrational for them to be there. Chat, I'm curious on your end. How many of you can honestly say, not intellectually, but logically, right? Not intellectually or logically. How many of you can say emotionally that there's a part of you that wishes that you could have and make money easily? You could have results easily. You could make money easily. Let's see how many people respond here. I can promise that it's a lot.
It's insane. It's insane,
okay.
because
so my
deep
point here is
everybody thinks they're different, and they have
exactly.
some.
So there we go.
At
Now
some point, they're gonna figure it out.
We know it. It's super common. Okay, and the reason is because this is adult Santa Claus.
It makes sense. Yes.
The part of you that believed in Santa Claus when you were a kid, Probably should have put a warning up there. Spoiler alert for some of you. Part of you that believed in Santa Claus when you were a kid, right? Sometimes that piece of us hangs around longer. And here's why, in my opinion. I don't believe that that is part of some childlike irrationality. I believe it is part of human nature that has the ability to, see magic in the world. Now, a childlike version of magic is Santa Claus. A trader-like version of magic is, oh, I can have this predictive control of my results. But here's the reality, okay? The magic that exists in the world is the same magic that somebody born in 1900 would view of this scenario right now. You and I are talking from other parts of the world on a stream, interacting with people in a chat who we will never see or meet. This is magic to somebody born 126 years ago. So magic does exist in the world. It just does not exist, in small slices of time. It exists over generations.
It might even happen in a row, right? But not in individual events. That's the thing.
My point here is that magic is our ability to create transformative technologies or processes in the world. Okay.
I get it.
That part of us has to grow into something that is far more sophisticated. And for you and many others in chat, it just hasn't grown up. It's adult Santa Claus, right? We need the magic to be more sophisticated. That's the thing that you need to be accepting of, right? And understand where your control to produce that magic comes from, right? It's that your strategy and your time and effort to produce this product, right? Which is your ability to identify and discern profitable opportunities in the market, right? That is your product.
It's your process. It's your process.
That is your process, right? So the deployment of that operates the same way that any business runs, right? It runs on a margin, not on 100% profitability.
Exactly. And it's so simple and obvious when you're talking about worldly things, but when it comes to trading, it changes everything. It's crazy.
And it changes
everything you've done in your life. I'm much older than everybody in the audience, I believe. And I've done many things, and everything you've done, there's usually a reward for it. Whereas in trading, it doesn't work that way. But it worked in my other jobs and things that I've done. But here it's different. It's different. It's very easy to say that intellectually, but when it comes to reality, when you're in front of a screen, and then when you see the trade going against you, like a zillion times, you start thinking, man, I have to, everything comes, every single trade, this whole emotional baggage comes with you, and it's time to let go. I understand. And even my inner talk, while, for example, I'm not in front of the screens, I can see that I'm still thinking about trading. And still that part of me that wants to find a solution. It's like talking, why did I choose that point and not the other one? And then I start talking, no, you have to focus on your process. That's not the answer. You've been doing this for 6 years, man. It's not going to work like that.
Okay, but when you have that thought, why did I choose this and not that? You call that out as adult Santa Claus.
Yeah. Okay, good. Like name, to give a name to it, right?
Yeah, you're calling it out. This is the fantasy. This is the wish, right? That I could have magical powers.
Yeah, and then I talk to me and say, no, you know already better, man. Focus on your process.
But so you're doing part of it, right? But the acceptance is going to come more easily in that second part where you're saying, okay, go back to your process. You know your process is going to come more easily when you call out the fantasy and the magic-like quality of your thinking.
Like you're giving a nickname to me. It's like a second personality, what you're saying.
So fine, if that helps. But I think structurally what we're talking about is there's a part of how you see yourself that has magical powers to it.
Okay.
And we're trying to call that out when it happens and remind you that no, you do not. Here is where your control lies, and you're just redirecting it. So it's just that it's not a reframe. It's an identification of where the core error is, in your approach.
Interesting. Yeah, okay. Because what I talk to myself is, man, you've been doing this for 6 years and you've had this talk with you for 6 years. obviously it's not working. It has to be something else. So this stock's not going to work anymore. And after reading books and watching you reading your book and other books, and I said, man, it's process. You have to focus on your process. This is the only thing you actually have control over. All the rest, there's no control.
So that's adult Eric talking, and adult Eric knows some things. Adult Eric is far more sophisticated. All you're doing now is calling out the instances where adult Santa Claus comes in and tries to just burn the whole thing down, right? And allow you to believe in magic that is not real. You can produce magic in your life over the next 10 years, maybe even sooner than that, but it's not going to come like that, and it's not going to come by having 100% certainty over the outcome of the individual trades you're taking. So when you feel that hesitation, there's another reminder. Adult Santa Claus making me believe that the standard is 100% certainty. It's not. Sophisticated Eric says, probabilistically, I've got an X% chance of winning this. Okay, let's get in.
Easier said than done, right?
But that's the training, and I think the training will come more easily as you're calling out the real thing that has been undermining your efforts here.
Because I mean, the hardest part, really, for example, when you're not in front of the screen, this is much easier because you have nothing at stake. But for example, when you like order flow, it's different. I mean, most of the guys that are here on the audience chart. I'm not judging, but when you're trading order flow, it's much faster. So you have to make your decision pretty quick. You're on the spot. There, I get the difficulty to have this insight of doing this quickly. So what I feel is it's reducing, but throughout the session, I have to be reminding myself that it's get out of here, Santa Claus, get out of here, and you spend a tremendous amount of energy doing that.
Exactly. It's going to be a battle.
Because
There's no other way
you're
around.
on the edge all the time. It's
There's
very
no other way
tiring.
around. Exactly. All right, Eric, I got to run. We got to wrap up here. Thanks for coming on.
Thank
Take your
you
time
very much
to do the work. Yeah, exactly. You got
All
it.
right. Thanks again, man.
Of course. Take care. Good stuff. Yeah, like I said, I know, chat, there's a lot of you are in this category, and yes, you just need to get the reps in, right? There's no other way around it. We've talked about it a lot with both Brian and Eric today. So have at it. Okay, get the reps in, build some strength there. Got a couple minutes left here. Let's see if we can get to a couple of last questions here. All right, String Breeding. I had a really good question for Jared. Lost my cat of 17 years. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. Simply can't trade due to grieving. I've evals the passing days, and I'm not able to. What would Jared say to me? I would say that give yourself 10, 15 minutes at the beginning of the trading day to grieve, to write, perhaps, to release some of that emotion. And at the end of it, draw a line in the sand, so to speak, in your mind and say, okay, I'm putting that aside. And now for the next hour, 2 hours, you allow yourself an opportunity to kind of go into this bubble that is trading. If you trade from another room, then I would suggest not coming into the room where you trade until having done that grieving. Okay. And look, this process will work not just for your scenario, but anybody that has any personal issues that are kind of hot, right? They're emotionally evocative. You give yourself a chance to kind of squeeze out some of that emotion, put it aside, and give yourself a vacation from them by trading for the time period that you can. I'm not saying that it is easy. I'm not saying that it will happen immediately, but it is healthy to give yourself space to be able to kind of focus on trading like that. And if that suggestion doesn't work, then I'm afraid that you just put trading aside until you're back on your feet and can kind of have enough emotional stability, because this is a hard game. And when you're emotionally compromised like that, it's like an athlete who's injured and just not kind of capable of competing. All right. You're very welcome. And yes, again, sorry for your loss there. Cosperone, I'm an expert accountant by profession. I expect X amount of income based on X amount of time spent on a file. I don't take, so I guess in trading doesn't mix with accounting. No, look, I think many of you who trade and are coming from other aspects of life, right? It can be easy to have the impulsivity come because the expectancy is for the rewards to come in trading, much like it comes from everywhere else in life. And the reality is that trading is functionally different from many other things you do. The rewards need to come over the space of 90 to 120 days, where you're flexing your edge on a day-to-day basis, finding out how you perform at the end of those 90 to 120 days from a P&L standpoint. And so, yeah, if you're working on a single account, usually you can get rewarded within a day or two in terms of the output, but that's not the way that trading works. So when impulsivity overrides better logic, it's because you're trying to create and force short-term outcomes, when in reality what you're trying to do is create long-term outcomes, and that is functionally different. So, all right. Great stuff. Eric, Brian, thank you so much for coming on today and sharing your experience. It's interesting how things kind of line up in terms of the topics today. That was certainly not planned. But for those of you who want to come on and be a guest in the future, please fill out that survey. Again, surveymonkey.com/r/NinjaTrader. I'll select some of you to come on for our next episode. Until then, I wish you all very well. Take care.